This will be the 98th meeting between two interstate rivals, a series that dates back more than a century. Today, it's a sudden elimination matchup in round 2 of the FCS playoffs. Second-seeded Illinois State hosting the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. Coming up for you now on ESPN. The NCAA Division I Football Championship is presented by Northwestern Mutual. What December energy. You could see it. It's palpable. You could feel it as the Leathernecks of Western Illinois come into Normal today to face their in-state rivals, the Redbirds, the number 2 seed of Illinois State. It's second-round action. All right, let's take a look at the playoff brackets. 16 squads have advanced. After 24 started, you have the top 8 seeds in action today. The winner of Illinois State, Western Illinois, will advance next week to play the winner of number 7 seed Richmond and William and Mary. Great to see you, everybody. Delighted you're here. You come to the right place. Michael Regai, my partner, Dustin Fox. Missouri Valley Conference on display today. And how they met in October right here. Tight football game, Dustin. Second half, suddenly Illinois State explodes offensively, as they're wont to do.
Well, if you looked at that game and just looked at the box score and you saw, okay, well, Illinois State won the game by 20 points, that wasn't the case. You know, you looked at Western Illinois had the lead in the third quarter, and all of a sudden 4 big explosive plays by the Redbirds, and the game was out of reach.
Yep, 4 of them totaled close to 300 yards. All right, let's take a look at running backs that you're going to love today. You come to the right place. We start with the Missouri Valley Conference Offensive Player of the Year, Marshawn Copperts. Wow, is he tremendous.
There's no question. He is a beast in the backfield. Not only is he quick and fast, but he's also powerful when he finishes runs. He's also up for the FCS National Offensive Player of the Year. They'll announce that one in Frisco, Texas.
The 260-pound bull of a runner is Nico Watson of Western Illinois. He carved up Dayton last week.
Especially in the second half, and that's where he's at his best. When he's able to run downhill, wears out defenses. 152 yards last week. Expect 35-plus carries today.
Missouri Valley Conference on display once again. It's Western Illinois and the number 2 seed Redbirds of Illinois State. That's why you're here. FCS playoffs, second round. We start next on ESPN. The NCAA FCS Football Championship is presented by Northwestern Mutual. The football gods have absolutely touched us with December weather. It's phenomenal. Sunshine here in Normal, Illinois. Temperature right around 45 degrees. And you better lock in with us for the next 3.5 hours or so.
Michael, the pageantry of college football is on display at its finest, and here we go.
Game on. Sean Slattery of Illinois State with his kick to the goal line. And this is Stacy Smith in open space. Excellent return from Smith near the 45-yard line. Western Illinois loves their start on the speedster Stacy Smith's return.
Stacy Smith had a couple of big plays offensively last week, but this is a terrific start to an offensive, drive here. Obviously, great field position to start the ball game for the Leathernecks.
Sean McGuire, this will be his 4th start. He is a perfect 3-0. He battled back from about a mononucleosis after the incumbent starter, Trenton Norvell, went down. Young man from the state of Wisconsin. Last week against Dayton, threw a couple of touchdown passes. Nico Watson on that first carry of the day. Give Watson a couple. Dustin Fox, our impact players offensively for Western Illinois. They've got big-time playmakers.
You just saw one of them on that kickoff return in Stacy Smith, and then the other wide receiver, Lance Lenore, out there on the outside. First team all Missouri Valley Conference.
Nico Watson got 2 on 2nd and 8. McGuire wants Lenore. He almost had that picked off. Jumping the route was Devontae Harris, the sophomore. He's got his 9th pass breakup of the year.
Well, that was a dangerous throw. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's take a look at the impact players for Illinois State. Linebacker Pat Meehan in the middle, and Dalton Keene really anchors the center of that defense right there. Takes on double teams, does it all. Does all the dirty work with this defense.
Yeah, he does. And Meehan, the Mike linebacker, leads his football team in stops defensively. 3rd and 8 for Sean McGuire with 4 wide. And a gun middle had it deflected. Getting a hand on it was Teddy Corwin. Corwin, at 260 pounds, the senior out of St. Louis, got that big pull up to break up the McGuire throw.
Well, Corwin's got a long body type, gets a paw up there. You're right on the money there. Interesting play calls from Western Illinois, though, to start the game. They run the football on first down, then they put the ball in the air, second and third down, a little bit behind the sticks, but we thought we'd see a little bit more Nico Watson, especially on first and second down.
Here's the Fred Mitchell Award nominee given to the top kicker in the country, regardless of football playing class, Nathan Knuffman. Pressure on. Knuffman will hit it high, and that Illinois State fair catch for the Redbirds, and handled by Anthony Warham. And here is Trey Roberson. Roberson, the transfer from the Indiana Hoosier program, and he has been nothing short of brilliant for this Illinois State football team and their head coach, Brock Spack.
Well, it's all about connections with Coach Spack, and he had some Big Ten connections, obviously, as a player at Purdue and coaching there for several seasons. He was able to get Roberson to transfer. The whispers out there, and all of a sudden Roberson comes in here and has been dynamic. In fact, he played most of the season, Michael, with a cast on his wrist, a brace, because he had a broken thumb.
He said he wanted to play for championships, and that's what led him to Brock Spack's championship program here at Illinois State. This is Marshawn Coppridge. Coppridge showing you his ability to elude tackles. Coppridge on that first down call got 6. Impact players, Dustin.
This excites you because I said we got to talk about some offensive linemen. Mark Spellman and Kyle Avaloy up front are going to be huge impact players in this game because we want to see Coppridge make some big plays on the ground. At least if you're an Illinois State fan, you want to see Coppridge, and it all starts with these boys up front.
Spellman absolutely excels. Keep an eye on him out of the state of Wisconsin. He makes all the line calls.
Yes,
the
he
center,
does.
290 pounds. NFL future.
Possibly.
For Mark Spellman. On 2nd and 4, stretch play. And running the football and get ganged up on as Illinois State gave Marshawn Coppridge a blow as George Moriera, the running back, the freshman. Illinois State going to come up third down here. How about the impact players for Western Illinois?
If you see the long hair sticking out of Pete Swenson's helmet from number 50 this afternoon, he had 4 sacks last weekend against Dayton. Brett Taylor, as a young sophomore, has really taken over the reins of this defense. He makes almost every tackle.
On 3rd down and 2 with 3 wide receivers. At tight end, Tyler Petkovich flexed out. Coppridge next to Roberson. That seam route, a little bit too tall and incomplete. He was looking in the seam and trying to find Tyler Petkovich. Both squads 3 and out.
He missed him. You know, Petkovich was open for a second, and it was just a late throw over the middle. It could have been a big gainer, but I think Roberson was looking outside. All of a sudden, by the time he saw him down the seam, it was a little bit too late, a little bit errant up high.
Miles Spearman with the Western Illinois coverage. Remember, he had the end zone pick last week to thwart a Dayton drive.
Yeah, and he's also starting this game because Aaron Diggs still out with an injury. So Spearman, who, as you mentioned, had a big play last week, is out there at safety.
Reese Adder, the Illinois State punter, did not get that to turn over very well. The short kick, fair caught by Lance Lenore. We're scoreless, second possession. Second round, FCS playoffs. Western Illinois with the football when we get back. Back in Normal, Illinois, that's Brock Spack in his 7th season. He's done a fabulous job. Played in the FCS National Championship game a year ago. On your left, Illinois State, Bob Nielsen, the Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year, whose squad authored that 24-7 win over Dayton last week. We were there, a part of it. You saw it here on ESPN3.
They said they're okay with traveling.
Just like Illinois State had to do last year. Look at Nico Watson. You think he doesn't deliver a blow running behind those pads as Watson bulls his way for 7 on that first down call.
What a powerful run from Nico Watson right here. And take a look right here down the middle. What a devastating hit delivered by Watson.
Sanil Esteem out of Boynton Beach, Florida. Well, that strong safety came up and he took the full brunt of that. 2nd and 3. Watson Took initial contact right at the line of scrimmage and got one. Going to bring up third down and short. This Illinois State defense, Dustin, as we take a look, they get after it off the edge, and they're very opportunistic there.
Well, they're really explosive on the edges, and that's where it's obviously you need to have a pass rush. But up the middle, these guys don't get enough credit. Dalton Keene, we talked about, is one of the impact players at 6'4", 285 pounds. From Jacksonville, Illinois, is a impact player because he is able to take on double teams and allows guys on the outside like Alex Donnelly, you just saw, making plays.
On 3rd and 2, Watson got denied. There was just no push there as the front of that Illinois State defense, Dalton Keene, the big fella out of Jacksonville, Illinois, with a hit.
I think Dalton Keene just heard me talk about his stats there a little bit as he wanted to come up and make some more plays because he has been, as coaches talked about in the conference calls with us this week, explosive, dynamic, impactful for this defense. And again, another 3 and out for this Redbird defense. That's huge. Couple of punts back and forth, not necessarily what we expected. We thought might see some explosive offense.
Nathan Knuffman, that's returnable, that line drive shot, but Anthony Warham decides to fair catch it. Here's our Northwest Mutual planning for success keys of the game today. What do you have, Dustin?
Well, it's pretty simple for Western Illinois. It's got to, obviously they have to tackle well, but tackling well goes along with stopping the big play. Last time they met in October, there was 4 huge big plays in the second half of that game, and then for Illinois State, got to stay ahead of the chains. You got to be able to get 4 or 5 yards on first down, and then again be physical because Nico Watson is a physical back. You've got to be physical with him.
No question about that. As Brock Spack was describing to us this week. Trey Roberson going to trigger the out. That's Anthony Warham to make that grab off the pitch and catch. Hookup is good for 7. Anthony Warham, leading receiver on the squad. That's his 44th catch of the year. Dustin, he averages over 24 yards of reception.
It's incredible. That one's not over 24 yards, but that's a nice catch. It keeps him ahead of the chains, just like we talked about on 1st and 2nd down. You want to have some manageable 2nd and 3rd down situations. Big kid out of Indiana, and obviously he's all Missouri Valley Conference and has been a big go-to target for Trey Roberson in this offense.
Will really stretch you vertically, as will Marshawn Coppridge. Well, look at the quick moves, the speed. He's got a first down.
Number 25.
He's got some wiggle to him, doesn't he?
39-yard. That's a good way to put it. A lot of wiggle.
A lot of wiggle there on the outside. He put a little wiggle on Adam Broad, the sophomore linebacker. Number 35 comes in here. Right here, he sticks that foot in the ground. And you talk about that Florida stick. Guys from Florida, he's got that Cali stick because he's from California.
And he wasn't highly recruited at all. He's one of the, he won the 110 meters out in Los Angeles, and nobody really offered him.
Incredible. You talk about speed. The state of California, you know how much talent is out in California. This guy, to be able to, for Coach Spack and company to go out there and find him, incredible. Under the radar. And all of a sudden he's obviously up for the National Offensive Player of the Year. He's been an unbelievable player for this team, especially the last couple of years.
Over 1,700 yards and 20 TDs. Roberson firing that seam route. How did Warham make a tremendous grab on that middle of the field dig just inside the hash marks? Warham, that football was behind him, Dustin.
It was behind him,
tremendous catch.
And it was low. There was pressure in Roberson's face, but look at the concentration from Warham to haul this one in. You're right, deep dig, right over the middle, right into the zone, sits right down, but to be able to pick that up off the ground, wow, look at the concentration.
That's 14 yards and a first down, and again, far and away leading receiver on this football team. Interesting, that's his now 45th catch of the year. That was coming into today, and nobody else with more than 13 on this pass game. This is Trey Roberson in open space. Roberson will speed his way, accelerated inside the 20-yard line, down to the 19. Trey Roberson.
This is a design quarterback read option. He could stick it in the running back's belly, Coprich, but he decides because the defensive end, Swenson, goes down and takes the running back. He's like, I'm going to pull this thing out and run down the field, and smartly gets out of bounds, avoids contact, and big first down for the Redbird offense.
28 yards worth there for Trey Roberson. Dustin, 5 football games here with 2 rushing touchdowns or more for this very diverse, multi-dimensional quarterback. And as you mentioned, to play a part of this season with a broken thumb. off that play action. His throw came up short. He was looking for Warham.
Looks a little bit uncomfortable right now in the pocket. And remember, he's been playing all season with a cast or some sort of a plastic brace on that throwing hand. You see he's got the glove on it, obviously, so he's helps him throw a little bit. But right now, maybe he's not necessarily comfortable or used to it because this is his first game without it. Keep an eye on that as the game goes on. How comfortable is he now? You get used to something, even though it's probably a hindrance, but you kind of get used to it.
2nd and 10 from the 18. There's that straight quarterback keep. Roberson eluded Gavin Ricketts and then worked his way inside the 20-yard line, but only got back near the line of scrimmage. Gavin Ricketts, last week he was tremendous against Dayton. Watch number 98, Ricketts chase him.
Just explodes. He gets off the block, and that's critical. He allows his rest of his defense to pursue to the football, Holtzschlag and company, but at Ricketts, you just saw the effort at the end of the play, never gave up on it. You're right, last week he had a huge day against that Flyer offense.
Dime package now, 6 defensive backs in. This is 3rd and 11. That line to make is at the 9-yard line for Trey Roberson. Gonna step up. Fired middle right on time to Anthony Warham. Warham was able to make that grab, and that already catch number 3 for Warham in the first quarter.
Warham had a big game the first time against Western Illinois. Already off to a fast start here again. Just, you bring Kyle Hammonds in the game in that dime package you mentioned. He just gives way too much cushion to Anthony Warham, and obviously rightfully so. I mean, Warham's a terrific player, but you got to be careful, especially in the red zone. You got to tighten it up a little bit.
All right, this is where now, out of the zone read and read option looks, this is where Roberson is just so difficult. Yeah, so difficult to defend. Zone read, and this is Marshawn Coppridge. Look at a cutback inside the 5. Well, Coppridge was met originally by Adam Brott, and Brott had a chance to take him down for a 2-3 yard loss. Couldn't get him on the ground.
He sticks that foot in the ground and cuts back. But how about the block here from Michael Clements, number 86, blocks down right there and allows Coppridge to cut back. You're right, Brott should have made that tackle, Michael. Should have made that tackle in the backfield. And Coppridge is just lucky to sort of get back and pick up a gain of about 1.5 yards or so.
Well, there he is. I mean, these are just gaudy numbers, folks. So that's the bottom line, as we said. Over 1,700 yards on the ground. But how about the 20 touchdowns from Marshawn Coppridge? Coppridge inside the 5. Will power his way. Touchdown, number 21 on the season for Marshawn Coppridge.
Coppridge sort of let up at the end of this run like he thought he was just going to walk into the end zone, and you got to finish these runs off here. Good job up front. Watch right there. He's kind of lets up a little bit and allows the defense, Timothy Smith and company, to sort of try and push him back, but at the end of the run he gets in the end zone, and the Redbirds are on the board.
Bob Nielsen saw a lot of Coppridge during their visit here in October. As we mentioned, they were right there with 11X in Western Illinois until the second half explosion. Sean Slattery handling the PAT. Jake Colby, the backup quarterback, is the holder. Slattery has connected. 7-0. Illinois State behind Marshawn Coppridge, with the power to battle his way after first contact into the end zone. Seven 0 Illinois State in all of this frenzy of red here inside Hancock Stadium with their lead over their Missouri Valley Conference foe. NCAA FCS Football Championship presented by our good friends at Northwestern Mutual. Michael Regai, Dustin Fox, all of our terrific ESPN crew. Trey Roberson set it up with that 27-yard run before Marshawn Coppridge battled his way into the end zone.
Yeah, it was Roberson's play, though, the decision to pull that football out on that read option and pick up the big game. But Coppridge, again, you can see why he's so special. I mean, he really is. He's had a couple of runs today that haven't really broke off for big ones, but you can see the wiggle and shake that he has, and just it's a matter of time here before he breaks a big one.
A line drive shot, unreturnable, as Sean Slattery will not allow Stacey Smith to return.
Michael, I think on this drive for Western Illinois, it's vital. Early in the game, you may say it's crazy, but it's so important for them to get a first down. They have to have something positive on this drive. Remember, the first 2 drives of the game have been 3 and outs.
Yep.
And Nico Watson, it's going to be important for him to get involved. As you see, listen, the Redbirds don't lose here at home.
No, that's right.
Stadium, they're 18 in a row.
And don't you think Sean McGuire is going to have to get into a little bit of a rhythm and a flow throwing the football too?
How about some play action pass here too? Because I believe everybody on that Illinois State defense believes that Nico Watson's going to get the football, but not in this play because it's an empty formation.
With 4 wide receivers, and of course, the bellwether is Lance Lenore. And McGuire's going to load it up. It is caught, hauled in by Stacey Smith. We saw him last week catch the touchdown pass to put the game away against the Dayton Flyers. We mentioned McGuire throwing the football right on time.
And this is a terrific play from Stacey Smith because this is a Hail Mary. McGuire just closes his eyes and throws that thing up, hoping his guy's going to go up there and make a play, and he does, because it's almost intercepted, nearly picked off by Dre Shane Glass, the safety, the sophomore safety on that Redbirds defense.
That's for 37 yards and right back playing pitch and catch with Stacey Smith. So back-to-back touches for Smith. 5'8", 160-pounder, redshirt freshman.
Well, you guys didn't think I was right to say that he should be an impact player this week. We had a call this week. I said, listen, Stacey Smith, this guy's got to have a big game for the Leathernecks to be in.
I'm with you. Okay. He's already had the tremendous kick return here.
Sure. 2 big plays early in this game. I'm just patting myself on the back a little bit.
Do you do that once in a while?
Just
so the audience knows?
I'm kidding.
2nd and 1 for the 29. This is Nico Watson. He'll power his way to the 25-yard line. That's a first down for Watson. That was Alejandro Rivera out of Sterling, Illinois, making the stop. Here's Western Illinois. Well, listen, if you play in the Missouri Valley Conference, Dustin, we know this is a truism. You're going to play the best football teams at the FCS level.
7 ranked opponents this year, and also they played the Illini early in the season as well.
Yeah.
But you're right, almost nearly every team in the Missouri Valley is ranked.
That's exactly right. Now that zone read, and this is Nico Watson running the football. And that offensive line powered their way, but it came out late. And covering it up was Jacob Judd, the Leatherneck center. Now, I don't know if that play was stopped before the ball came out. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if the forward progress stopped, but the ball did come out, obviously. Officials having some technical difficulties on the field. And certainly the ball comes out, and Jacob Judd, the center, Johnny on the spot to get the football back.
Play action for McGuire. Going to step up and take a shot. He had Lance Lenore there. Lenore had beaten coverage of Illinois State's Josh Birch. McGuire missed him.
He missed him. That's a miss. That's on Sean McGuire because Lance Lenore is wide open. He gets right behind Josh Burke, the senior corner, on a sort of skinny post. That should have been 6. Should have been 6.
Bob Nielsen
knows it. He knows it.
Yeah, he does. All right, 3rd down and 9. Empty. 5 wide receivers for Sean McGuire. Pressure. Fire in the out. Too tall and incomplete over the head of Lance Lenore. Again, Josh Birch with the Illinois State coverage.
McGuire's just not comfortable right now. You can obviously see he's feeling the pressure from this Redbirds defense. He's had the big play from Stacey Smith, but that was all Smith. He's had a couple of throws today that he's missed, especially, we didn't really get a chance to talk about because it was early in the game, but the first pass of the game was nearly a pick 6 on the outside. Nearly picked off by Devontae Harris, so he's got to settle down a little bit here. Remember, it's only his 4th start. 4th start ever.
Well, this might be right at the extent of the range for Nathan Knuffman. He's 9-16 on the year. His long is 42. Now remember, the quarterback's the holder. McGuire will put it down. Plenty of leg. And Nathan Knuffman will stick that and put 3 on the board for the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. Needed a drive that resulted in points. They got it as Nathan Knuffman went dead center, 41 yards out. Second round of our Division I football championships presented by Northwestern Mutual. Illinois State with a 7-3 lead over Western Illinois. How about Stacy Smith on that drive, Dustin Fox? 51-yard drive. There you see it, 212. Stacy Smith with 47 of those yards with a big catch over the top from Sean McGuire, and then that 9-yard hook up on the bubble screen.
They've got to find a way to capitalize off of that big play. Yeah, you're happy you got the field goal. Points are terrific, obviously, but there was a pass to the back of the end zone to Lance Lenore where he was wide open that should have been an easy touchdown. If Western's going to stay in this game, remember, they're huge underdogs in this game. If they're going to stay in this game, they've got to convert on plays like that.
George Morera from the goal line for Illinois State. Good cut. It's a 37, make it a 39-yard return. George Morera.
Morera's a big boy, too. Returning kicks back there. Good vision, and then finishes the runoff. Might have been a little face mask there at the end of the play. I think the officials might have missed, but no harm, no foul. Good field position setting up the Redbirds offense again. Let's see if Koprych gets some carries early in this drive, because he's close. I'm telling you, he is so close to breaking a big one. You can feel it.
Yeah, and you said it perfectly, his wiggle, and he doesn't need much of a seam or a crease. Koprych offset with Trey Roberson. Roberson will gun that throw. That was broken up beautifully. Well, coming off that corner for Western Illinois, and timing that up with excellent precision for Western Illinois was Kyle Hammonds.
I think there might have been a little bit of confusion here on the outside. Obviously, the pass is dropped by Warren. Good play by Hammonds, but I think on the inside, Anthony Fowler, who was the inside slot receiver, thought the ball was coming to him. He kind of lays off, and I don't think Warren thought the ball was coming to him.
With the one exception to the throw on the seam to the tight end, Tyler Petkovich, it's been Warren. Everything else has been Warren. Now the check down. Koprych. Showing you some of that wiggle there as Koprych caught that check down throw and will put out of bounds at the 41-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8.
It's a big 3rd down, too, for this Leatherneck defense. They've got a 3rd and long here coming up for this Redbirds offense, and this is where Trey Roberson thrives. Situations like this, because he's obviously terrific in terms of his vision to pull that football out if he wants to. You have Koprych in the backfield right to his left. It's a perfect situation for a little read option.
4 wide receivers. And now motion on 3rd and 8 for Trey Roberson. Blitz coming. Roberson firing for Warren, and it was broken up. Well, how about the anticipation and that excellent pass breakup out of the Western Illinois secondary. Brock Groten. He's one of the nickel and dime DBs.
He doesn't play a lot, but he's just able to kind of get his shoulder pad in there. And I think this is more of a drop from Warren than it is a hit. I think Warren takes his eyes off the football and is looking up the field and seeing where's this pressure coming from. Sometimes you hear footsteps out there. Believe me, you hear them. And Warren heard them right there a little bit.
We know that. Reese Attard. Drill this away. Pressure coming. Oh, he hit it well. He'll drive Lance Lenore to the 8-yard line. Lenore. Not much room to operate, but a solid return from Lenore, given he was backed up to the 8-yard line on the booming punt from Reese Attard.
I think they missed a little block in the back on Miles Spearman, too. But Coach Spack, man, go back to Purdue. I obviously spent a lot of time at Purdue as a player and as a defensive coordinator. Been here since 2009. Michael, you know, I go way back with Coach Spack.
Yep.
As a player playing against Purdue for many seasons. And, of course, Coach Spack and I got a chance to talk a little bit this week because he was on the staff for the East-West Shrine game back in 2005. The Purdue staff, Coach Tiller and company, were the coaches for that week and got a lot of time, a great opportunity to meet Coach Spack. What a terrific coach, and the job he's done here has been amazing.
Now McGuire will put the football in the hands of his talented wide receiver Lance Lenore on the quick hitch. Lenore got a couple. So we're down on the field today as we had a chance to talk to Brock Spack. Really enjoyed our conversation. He says to me, hey, Did this guy tell you he could play? Well, sure he did. He said he's one of the fastest cover corners ever to play the game. And he laughed, of course. Well, you do have that. You do have that relationship with him, and that's terrific. Now his second down carry is Steve McShane, the freshman. He spells Nico Watson. Dustin, we did not see Steve McShane at Dayton last week. He was injured and out.
He was out. Had a little family emergency.
Yep.
Kept him out of the game. Obviously, he's back this week now with the team, and he's a good young player. But again, you don't see much of these other backs, rightfully so. If Nico's rolling and healthy and everything's all good there in the backfield, these other backs, they just kind of come in, they spell Nico.
Getting a look at Alex Donnelly, that outside linebacker. This is 3rd down and 5 for Sean McGuire. He almost got picked off. I just mentioned Alex Donnelly out of Kirkland, Washington, and Donnelly got a big paw up to break up that McGuire throw.
A lot of pressure on this throw, and McGuire, again, is just not very comfortable in the pocket, and how could you be? You got guys like Alex Donnelly coming in there on the outside, getting his hand up.
So Donnelly with a PBU, the pass breakup, and Sean McGuire now 0 for 4, trying to pick up 3rd down converts. That's going to have to change for the Western Illinois fortunes. Knuthman. Warham will fair catch at the 48-yard line of Western Illinois. So this Fighting Leathernecks defense now has tough assignment as they're going to have to play on a short field against Trey Roberson and Marshawn Coppridge and this talented Illinois State O.
Michael, it's tough enough going up against these guys you mentioned, all the talent they have at really every position on that offense, especially the skill positions. But with the short field, this is tough duty for this Leathernecks defense. But you have to give them a lot of credit this year. They have played better and better as the season has went along. They've been so young on that defense, but as the season went on, a lot of these young players aren't young players anymore. They've got experience.
Right. Well, Bob Nielsen really likes his defense, too. And that's exactly the point he made to us for the last couple of weeks. Marshawn Coppridge. Look at him put that foot in the ground and make that cut as he works his way for 6 to the 42-yard line. The Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year, Bob Nielsen. And what a run he had in Division II, Minnesota, Duluth, couple of national championships.
Couple of national titles. You'd be like, well, how does this guy win Coach of the Year when they only have 6 wins? Well, I'll tell you how they win, because they beat the top 5 team in the country in South Dakota State. They beat Indiana State in overtime. Both of those wins did come in overtime to put them into the playoffs last week, and that earned him Coach of the Year in the Valley.
2nd and 4 for the 42. Run the stretch play to Marshawn Coppridge. Got stood up by middle linebacker Brett Taylor. We loved Taylor last week out of Macomb here in the state of Illinois. Big number 44. 3rd in the Defensive Player of the Year awards this year in the Missouri Valley.
He just runs. He runs around, and people talk about it. It's kind of cliche. Guy's got a high motor. His motor never stops. It's true with Brett Taylor, who's only a sophomore. Michael, in this season, his 2nd season as middle linebacker of this defense, has the most tackles at Western Illinois since 1998.
Yep. Nice size, too, 235 pounds.
Absolutely.
Come inside the 60-second mark here in the opening quarter. Zone read. Coppridge gets swallowed up. Pretty good initial hit. Now Trey Roberson tried to run that zone read, and Marshawn Coppridge got hit by both Adam Brott and Chris Harley.
Harley's just played better and better. He was one of the guys we asked Coach Nielsen about this week in our conference call, and he says every single week, this guy, and he's a big boy now, 290 pounds, and you can see it right there, and it's got some muscle on him now because he can get in there, take on some double teams, and that's a huge stop to force a punt. Short field, we talked about it coming into this drive. To go 3 and out, that is a critical stop for the Leatherneck defense.
Reese Attard, 3rd punt of the opening quarter for Illinois State. Lenore ran away as he signaled for a fair catch. And Illinois State, that punt cover team, will put it down inside the 1-yard line.
Can't get much better than that. Pin him at about the 1-yard line. It was Seth Combs, the long snapper, who's running down to number 37 and ends up downing it. Man, wow. Can't get much better than that. That thing checked up like Tiger Woods at Pebble Beach or something, huh? On that turf.
That's a pretty apt description.
Not lately, though.
No.
Not lately.
For the the past 5-6 years or so. No.
Right.
Thate put that down, though, very, very well. And now with just 6 seconds left in this opening quarter, Brock Speck. His defense has Sean McGuire backed up. Nico Watson time powers his way to the 8-yard line as quarter number 1 comes to an end. This is exactly what we expected. Look, it's Missouri Valley Conference football in the second round of the FCS playoffs. Trey Roberson in Illinois State behind Marshawn Coppridge, All-American running back, with a 7-3 lead. Come on back with us. Division I football championship second round here in this first Saturday in the month of December. Wow, is it gorgeous in Normal, Illinois, the campus of Illinois State. We're presented by Northwestern Mutual with my partner Dustin Fox. I'm Michael Regai, Western Illinois. Trailing 7-3 and looking at the 2nd and 4. McGuire off that zone read. He's got Joey Borsellino. He drilled Borsellino running that post to the 29-yard line. That's 21 yards, first down.
Yeah, it's going to be his 14th catch this season of over 20 yards. He's a big playmaker for this offense. He kind of hides, doesn't make a lot of plays, and all of a sudden he pops out big number 1. He'll make a big play. Had one last week, and now again getting them out of their own shadows of their own goalpost, I should say, at the 2-yard line.
Late in the football game, too.
Yeah.
Look at the Redbirds, those red shirts. They swarm on and swallow up Nico Watson, Alex Donnelly. Donnelly has certainly been impressive here, the 225-pound outside backer.
Yeah, Donnelly's one of these guys who is kind of a hybrid at linebacker because he's so athletic. He does a really good job. He was recruited here to Illinois State as a safety.
Yep.
And he said he kind of ate himself into a linebacker, but he still has the athleticism of a safety.
On 2nd and 11, go right back to Nico Watson, the punishing runner, to the 31-yard line, so give him 4 there. These drive starts have been going in reverse, Dustin.
And this is a huge drive for this Western offense because, remember, they started at the 2-yard line, and every single drive went backwards, 45-yard line, 34, 25, 13, all the way back to their 2, to be able to move the football out of the red zone, their own red zone. This is critical, but a huge 3rd down coming up right here.
Sean McGuire is 0 for 4 trying to pick up 3rd down, converts. He'll run with 4 wide receivers. Steve McShane offset. McGuire check down to Lenore. That's not going to get it done. Lance Lenore on that check down made the grab, but Illinois State secondary all over that to bring up 4th down.
But that's not a huge loss. I mean, it's a loss because you didn't get the first down, obviously. You'd like to pick up the first down, but because they were able to move almost 35 yards of field position, if they can get a good punt here from Knuffman, it could really set up this defense in a big spot. They've been playing with their backs to their own end zone the entire game, so this is huge right here. But guess who's deep?
Well, Anthony Ward, but he's fair caught everything
right.
so far. And I thought that last one, he had an opportunity to return on that line drive. He opted to fair catch it. Well, Knuffman,
he bobbled it.
He did, and he'll hang this high, though. Warham has to fair catch that at the 24-yard line. Second round of the FCS playoffs. Bob Nielsen continuing the Missouri Valley Conference rivalry. Illinois State leads it 7-3. Wow, the Illinois State Redbird, he's energized today. The FCS quarterfinals continue next weekend all across the ESPN family of networks on ESPN and ESPN2. If you'd like more information, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. This is Marshawn Coppridge on this first down carry. Look at him burst outside the numbers with speed. He'll dip here, give you a leg there, bend it outside. Tough to get on the ground.
He's a tough tailback, I'll tell you what, and he's getting close. I feel a big one coming here. He gets to the outside here. Miles Spielman knifes in from his safety spot, but he takes a bad angle at the end of the run. He's not able to get him on the ground.
Give Marshawn Coppridge, a young man who ran for over 1,700 yards here in the regular season for Brock Speck. Give him 9 there. We'll call it 2nd and 1. Again, off that zone read, the carry is for Marshawn Coppridge, and he's got a first down.
How about the cut? the point of attack by Coppridge. He just somehow does this little jump cut up in the middle of the air and plants that foot in the ground and sticks it upfield, and just enough to pick up the first down. But he knew he only needed about a yard to pick up that first down, and he did it. And now he gets a little blow.
He was an All-American.
Yeah.
All-American in the FCS division last year, 2014. Of course, and again, now Illinois State, they went all the way to Frisco, Texas. And the championship game of Division I football, FCS last year.
Got their frequent flyer miles in that last year for sure.
They were all over the country. Roberson, that football's going to get picked off. It was deflected and intercepted by Western Illinois' Brett Taylor. Taylor came up with the most opportunistic INT.
Brett Taylor, the sophomore linebacker who has just been the leader of this defense, comes up with a huge play of the game so far for this Western Illinois defense. Ball's tipped up in the air. Everybody else is looking around waiting for somebody to make a play. Thank goodness that Brett Taylor was there to make that play. And Johnny on the spot is, sometimes those balls get tipped up in the air. You're thinking, well, make sure that the offense doesn't catch it. Taylor obviously right there to make the play, but Brett Taylor, the sophomore, Michael, he's from Macomb.
Yes, right here.
He's from the hometown of Western Illinois
campus. Yeah,
grew up rooting for the Leathernecks.
Yep.
Catching punts from Mike Cypress at practice when he was a young boy, going to practices and stuff. He's always been around the program, lives and breathes Leatherneck football.
That's good stuff. I think Trey Roberson is going to, with his conversation with offensive coordinator Kurt Beathard, see that was bracketed virtually on every side. He threw that football into trouble.
Roberson's thrown some dangerous balls in this game. He hasn't been comfortable, and I'm telling you right now, the fact that he doesn't have that brace on that right thumb, his throwing thumb, I think it's affecting him.
Well, back to work is Sean McGuire. McGuire going to take a check down, and his throw is incomplete. He was thinking about, with Stacy Smith, that hitch and go, but it wasn't there. So he was then checking it down, and his pass falling incomplete. McGuire again, Dustin, this is his fourth football game that he started. He came in and he had mononucleosis.
He missed 3 weeks.
He did.
Prior to his first start against the Sycamores. Takes it to overtime, wins that game. The following week goes to double overtime, and then wins his first playoff game as a start last week.
Off play action, running that throw that Joey Borsellino made a terrific grab on in traffic.
Now that's a Sean McGuire that Coach Nielsen wants to see. He sits in the pocket, he delivers a strike only to a place his wide receiver can catch it. Borsellino right there, right over the middle, quick slant, and picks up a first down.
So a couple of big catches here in the second quarter for Joey Borsellino. Back to the run game, and that means Nico Watson, of course. Not much there, as those red-shirted Redbirds had that in a real tight box against Watson.
Matt McCown really just submarines the offensive line. Jacob Judd on that play, and there's nowhere for Nico Watson to go. He's just lucky to pick up a yard or so on first down. But again, I stay consistent with the running game. You see Coach Nielsen, Missouri Valley Coach of the Year. He's done it all. Won a couple of national championships at the Division II level. He's won really everywhere he's been. And there's a reason why they brought him to Western Illinois, a program that has had a lot of success, but not over the last 5 years.
2nd and 10 off that zone read play action. Well, he took a shot. McGuire put it on the hands of Javon Williams. Williams got that hand on it, couldn't reel it in.
And boy, Michael, I think there's a lot of contact here on the outside. Devontae Harris, number 10, the cornerback, is all over Javon Harris. I think they might have missed a call here. Potential pass interference. It's tough to say. Yeah, he's early. That should have been a pass interference call. It should be a 1st and goal, potentially.
Devontae Harris, 8 pass breakups on the year. He and Josh Birch on that other corner been very, very good on the islands for Brock Spack. 3rd and 10 for the 26.
Man coverage on the outside. Both receivers matched up.
4 wide receivers and Charles Westbrook in the football game, and now Bob Nielsen going to get a timeout. Timeout, Western Illinois.
Timeout, Western Illinois. Their first charge timeout of the half.
All right, we're going to take this timeout with Bob Nielsen. We'll see what the 3rd down decision is. The contingent from Macomb and Western Illinois fighting Leathernecks. Take a look at them. There's their honors on the Missouri Valley Football Conference side. First teamer, Nico Watson. Second teamers headed by Lance Lenore and Brett Taylor.
And one guy who's not on that list, but he did get honored, that's Sean McGuire.
That's right.
On the newcomer. Of the year team, right? So that's pretty important after only playing 3 games.
Look at it, 3rd and 10. McGuire to put it up. He got rocked. Coming in off the edge for Illinois State to make that hit is David Perkins, the 245-pound senior. He began his career with Urban Meyer in the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Well, he was once a Buckeye, now he's a Redbird. How about that dip and swim on the edge there on Matt Zobrist, the right tackle, to get upfield and make that sack. Senior from South Bend, Indiana. You mentioned he was a Buckeye at Ohio State.
How to get away from Brian Kelly to begin with?
That's a great question. He's a talented kid. Things weren't working out at Ohio State. Ends up here at Illinois State. Again, it's the Big Ten connection with Brock's back.
Yep.
Guys who played in the Big Ten and things weren't working out. They end up here at Illinois State.
Pressure on Nathan Knuffman. He'll hang this high and it's going to get in the end zone. Oh, Knuffman has had a lot of work here in the first half. The punter for Western Illinois, as has Reese Attard, his opposite number. Illinois State leads at 7-3. Gotta love all the energy provided, the color here inside Hancock Stadium on the campus of Illinois State University in Normal, represented by Northwestern Mutual. Our Division I football championships, Michael Regide, Dustin Fox, and this is the All-American Marshawn Coppridge. Oh, Coppridge, though, got taken down. That's a superb defensive play coming up off the edge for Western Illinois. Being able to make that stop for the Leathernecks was Miles Spearman. Spearman came out of that secondary to make the hit.
And that's a redemption tackle because he missed one in the last drive. Coming up on a very similar play, outside zone play. And right there, Spearman, I think he realizes you better bring a little bit more to get down Coppridge on the ground. Coppridge kind of tries to do a little stiff arm to him, and Spearman says, no, I'm going to grab cloth and get you on the ground, brother.
No gain.
No gain.
On the Miles Spearman play. All right, 4 wide receivers now. You see that formation with Coppridge offset. Zone read carry from Marshawn Coppridge. Got a couple taken down by the hit of Nick Nielsen. Haven't heard from Pete Swenson yet today, and I would imagine Illinois State giving him the defensive end who had the career-high 4 sacks last week, the second most ever in the history of Western Illinois defensively in one football game.
There's a big difference between the Dayton Flyers offensive line. Not to sell them short, but that's a non-scholarship program, and Swenson had a monster day working against that Flyers offense. But there he is at the top of the screen, number 50 right there. With long hair, you'll see him coming out.
3rd and 5, Roberson gunning. That was caught in traffic. Making the grab for Illinois State was Christian Gibbs, the redshirt freshman, 11th catch of the year.
Again, it's still kind of a difficult throw from Roberson to Christian Gibbs, and they're glad to have Gibbs back. Remember, he broke his collarbone earlier in the year, missed several games. One of the more talented wide receivers they have on the group. Only 10 catches on the year, but he missed a lot of time.
But look at the average per catch.
Yeah, almost 30 yards.
He and Anthony Warham, they could take a top off of defense. Roberson to put it up. He got picked off. Intercepted by Timothy Smith. Roberson gunned again into coverage, and Timothy Smith, the redshirt freshman from Chicago, with the INT.
No, he's coming home here, just up the road from Chicago and making a big play. Timothy Smith, great concentration, dropping into zone there. I don't think Roberson
Did he ever see him?
I don't think he saw him. And remember, Timothy Smith had a huge interception against Indiana State in the second half that helped them come back to get the win to even put them into the playoffs. Again, another huge play for the Leatherneck defense. Second interception here in the first half, and Roberson, again, very uncomfortable throwing from the pocket.
Is this the shot that the Western Illinois offense needs now? They'll start from the 34-yard line with Nico Watson, the 260-pounder, still alive. No whistle blown yet. There's the whistle finally being blown. They couldn't get Nico Watson on the ground.
Western Illinois has to score points here on this drive. They got to take advantage of the turnover. You have to get points off of turnovers, especially in games like this. This is win or go home time. This is important, critical drive for this offense. Good start there for the drive with Watson picking up almost 6 yards on first down. Go back to him again here on second down. Wear out this Illinois State Redbird defense with the big 265-pounder.
Watson, second straight carry. Maybe got one. Maybe got one down near the 25-yard line. As coming up to make that hit for the Redbirds of Illinois State.
I'm going to pull the left guard there, James Torgerson. And it just, again, the big bodies in the middle of that defense. Dalton Keene, Matt McCown.
Pat Meehan, too, the Mike linebacker.
Pat Meehan comes up, absolutely. We haven't called his name a ton, but he's been an impactful player. And get a look at Adam Conley. Also plays a lot as a sophomore.
This is third down and 3, and then by the by now, this is second consecutive series of downs, possessions that Western Illinois has started in Illinois State territory. Play clock running down. Sean McGuire, timeout.
Timeout, Western Illinois. Their second charge timeout of the half.
Second time in the first half they had to call timeout because of it. But again, I think they realize how critical this next play is going to be.
7-3 Illinois State. How does Western Illinois respond? Find out when we get back. 7-3 Illinois State with a lead. This is a day unlike the first get-together between these two where defense has taken charge.
Yeah, there were 66 points in that first game. Much different in this game. A lot of punts, a lot of stops by the defense. Both teams really, it was Illinois State's defense up front making a lot of stops. But then the surprise was Western Illinois being able to slow down Trey Roberson. They've done a really good job.
McGuire taking a shot to the end zone for Lance Lenore.
I don't like that call. I don't like that call on 3rd and 2. You basically, you're saying we're going to throw it to the end zone. It's going to be either a touchdown, potentially an interception because he was double covered. We were talking during the break. I'm going back to Nico Watson there on 3rd down. Now, again, you still have an opportunity to kick a field goal here. But, man, that was a dangerous throw.
41-yard field goal in the opening quarter from Nathan Knuffman. And Knuffman will, this would be his career long and season high if he hits here. It'll be from 43 yards out from the right hash. Line, drive, shot, and he'll bring Western Illinois to within 1 on his season best 43-yard field goal hit from Nathan Knuffman.
Well, at least they got points off of the turnover. That was critical in that situation.
But you didn't like the call on 3rd and 10.
3rd and 2. I didn't like the call.
3rd and 2,
because it was a situation, Michael, where you just got 8 yards on 1st and 2nd down by running Nico Watson. I understand everybody probably expects Nico Watson to get the ball, but when you have a running back like Nico Watson, who's 6 foot, 255 pounds, I think everybody expects him to get the football, and he still has success.
They had just stuffed him, though, on 2nd and short.
Yeah, but he just got 7 yards on 1st down, so
right.
I know.
Right.
Listen, hey, hindsight's always 20/20. But again, are you going to take a shot to the end zone in double coverage? Is that a better call than giving the football to Jerome Bettis in the backfield?
My answer to you there is no. I'm not throwing the football in the end zone on 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
No. Illinois State did come up with a stop, and now will Trey Roberson get settled down? Because,
needs to.
Quite frankly, the couple of picks he's thrown have been poor decisions. Now, he might not have seen Timothy Smith on the last one.
Well, we talked to Brock Spack before the game, and you remember one thing that he did say to us about Trey Roberson. He has an uncanny ability to dig himself out of a hole in game. He doesn't go in the tank like some quarterbacks do. And that's one of the things that he loves about him. He's got such a positive attitude that he doesn't let plays like this spiral out of control. He talked about sometimes he throws interceptions, and he'll be able to bounce back from it. Again, on the day, 5 for 11, only 45 yards, 2 picks. But take a look at that hand, that offhand, his throwing hand, I should say. No brace on it today. First game of the year without the brace.
Let's take a look at the 2 interceptions that Trey Roberson has thrown today. Both have come here in quarter number 2.
He doesn't like throwing the football off of the read option, and that one's going to be a batted ball picked off by Brett Taylor. This one, I just think he doesn't see Timothy Smith. Timothy Smith drops back from his cornerback spot and just sinks on it and makes a really great play.
Zone read run game, nothing there. Marshawn Cockridge was swallowed up. That's my guy, Gavin Ricketts. He wears number 98. Well, last week I loved him.
You fell in love with him last week.
Loved him. Gavin Ricketts, 98. Also his running buddy up front, Chris Harley.
Yeah.
Both of them are right around the 300-pound mark. There they are. 92 Harley, 98 Ricketts. They cause havoc.
How would you like to be a running back and just coming out of the huddle and taking a look at those guys? Some big dudes. Oh, some big dudes now.
Take a look at him is one thing. Trying to get him blocked consistently all day long, that's completely another. On 2nd and 12, Roberson will keep the football off that zone read. And Western Illinois continues to run very, very well. Again, Chris Harley on the stop. He had some help from Adam Brock.
Decides to hold the football, and on that read option run play, Roberson suffocated that defense. There's just nowhere to go. And you wonder, Michael, at some point you need to consider, if you're talking about the offensive coordinator, offensive staff for Illinois State, do you think about trying to find a way to get the ball into number 82's hands? Because he was the only guy in the pass game that has made plays.
That's right. 3 connections first quarter, 3rd and 10 on a blitz. Roberson keeping a play alive. Left it short.
Man, the officials missed a big-time hold on the inside. And I think Chris Harley's got a point. He's got his arms up in the air. The right guard, Cameron Lee, right here at the end of the play, right there. Cameron Lee, see him holding on? Could be a little acting job by Chris Harley as well, but it looked to me from the booth up here that it was a holding call. But again, no harm, no foul as the pass goes incomplete.
And he's trying to work with the true freshman, Bryce Jefferson. And one hop the throw. Reese Attard is going to hit this from about his 15. And the dangerous Lance Lenore will accept for Western Illinois. We'll have to run up and fair catch this, with Lenore will do. Again, excellent operating position, trailing by 1, 7-6 for Western Illinois. Sean McGuire in the offense.
Very surprised coming into the game. I thought the offense, especially of Illinois State, with all the playmakers and weapons they have on the offensive side of the ball, I thought they'd be able to move the ball easier. You know why? Frankly, going back to last week, the Dayton Flyers offense moved the ball up and down the field for 2.5 quarters against the Leathernecks. Illinois State, a much better offensive team, and they've been suffocating today. Suffocating as a defense.
Trailing by 1 now, with 4 minutes left. That's Lance Lenore. That's a flat-out drop. You can see with the naked eye, Lance Lenore was taking a peek at cornerback Josh Birch before he secured the football.
This is just going to hit him in a bad spot, Mike. Right in his hands, right between the numbers.
See him peek at Birch?
He peeked. He felt a little pressure coming. Heard some footsteps, but that's got to be caught. Again, he talked about staying ahead of the sticks, and he got 2nd and 10. That would have been a 6-7 yard gain on 1st down in a much more manageable situation. He had a big one. Huge day last time out here in Normal.
Yep. October 24th, the first meeting between these two football teams. Going to go right back in the same throw, and that was a more difficult catch, but Lance Lenore couldn't haul that in either.
So just like that, you've got 2 incomplete passes on quick slants in your 3rd and 10. They saw something, though. I give Coach Nielsen a lot of credit. You go right back to the well on something that was right there, and Josh Birch, the corner, still played off, and frankly, they probably would too if you beat up against Lance Lenore, a terrific wide receiver, one of the best in the valley.
Sean McGuire's 0 for 7 on 3rd down pickups. He's got his 8th opportunity here. Trigger the out, had no chance as he was looking for Trev Hadacek, the sophomore wide receiver from Dysart, Iowa, who came in on that personnel package. So 3 throws. Definitely 1 drop for Lenore. You can make a case a second, but 0 for 3 and 0 for 8 now on 3rd down is Sean McGuire.
Well, the Western folk want a flag for some contact. There was a lot of contact there from Devontae Harris, but I think the football was a little bit high, maybe deemed uncatchable, but there was a lot of contact there. Very close call.
Western Illinois has squandered field position without being able to put touchdowns on the board.
Someone's going to get a punt block at some point because both teams have struggled to protect.
Anthony Warham is going to get belted to the ground. Warham decided not to fair catch that, and he was swallowed up by David Griffith Out of Avon, Indiana, outstanding safety who had a pick last week against Dayton, playing special teams. So another opportunity for Trey Roberson. Again, he's thrown the pair of interceptions, the Indiana transfer. But has he made huge plays in his Illinois State career. Roberson, as you see, along with his dynamic running back mate, Marshawn Coppridge, first teamers in the Valley this year.
12 players on all those teams in the Valley. That's some talent now. You know how talented the conference is. They had 5 teams make the playoffs.
4 of them still alive. And Marshawn Coppridge getting the opportunity there on first down. So Coppridge with the call. Important drive. You'd think even if it doesn't result in points, you'd like to see some successions of first downs, moving the sticks here, because there's just been no flow to the Illinois State offense in the last 4 possessions.
And the most important thing here too, Michael, along with moving the chains, is you got to get Roberson comfortable. You got to get him back to something where he can have some success, something positive here before halftime.
2nd and 9 now. Stretch play. This is Marshawn Coppridge. Well, that's an outstanding tackle from Brett Taylor. Taylor, Dustin, you can describe it. He got off a block to be able to knife down Coppridge.
Not only does he get off a block, he's getting blocked here at the end of this play. Watch him. He makes this tackle, shoestring tackle, diving in there, somehow is able to knife Coppridge down. And it may have saved a touchdown, to be honest with you, because he had a lot of opportunity, green grass in front of him on the backside.
7 stops and recovered fumble last week in the win over Dayton. This is 3rd and 1. Out of the eye, Coppridge found a crease.
Bye-bye.
He'll accelerate. Marshawn Coppridge got dragged down by that free safety, able to make that stop. But Coppridge exploded. That was Miles Spearman on the hit.
I thought he was out the gate. I think he stumbled a little bit right there, just enough to slow him down, and Spearman has the angle to get him on the ground. I said bye-bye because I thought he was going to take that one to the house, but a touchdown-saving tackle from Miles Spearman, the sophomore from Arizona, has made 2 critical tackles in this early first half.
Don't you see it a lot? Just a little crease on 3rd and shorts. Those 3rd shorts, 4th and shorts.
You'll stack the box, and all of a sudden you find a seam, and you're out the gate.
Right back to Coppridge. Illinois State tried to run the football. Adam Brott and his fellow linebacker buddy Brett Taylor. Brott 35, Taylor 44. They're all over plays today. And Brock Spack is going to get a timeout.
Interesting choice of timeout here, because there's plenty of time. 1 minute and 49 seconds to go here in the first half. If you want to go back to the drawing board here, make sure you have the right play call on a critical 2nd down. But in terms of the clock, you have plenty of time. You want to use all the clock on this drive, and the goal would be to get some points, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, but getting some sort of points here, something positive to happen before halftime. And Coach Nielsen,
wouldn't you think he's got to be tremendously pleased at his defensive performance?
I was going to say the same thing. Being at this point in the game, a 7-6 ball game, even if you go to halftime here and it's 10-6, I think it'd be a win, because I don't think anybody came into this game thinking it'd be quite like this. A low-scoring, physical battle. Both teams' offenses have really struggled here, but you got to give a lot of credit to the Leatherneck defense, because they have stepped up today in a huge way.
Trey Roberson looking at 2nd and 12 and wants to put it up. Pressure coming. I'll throw the football away. Pressure was coming.
Is he out of the pocket?
Pete Swenson. There's your answer.
Already.
He was
Thank
out
you,
of the
Mr.
pocket.
Official. He heard me.
Our game referee today, as you've heard from Bruce Bondi. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and 12 now. 3rd down and 12 for Trey Roberson. And Illinois State, that pressure came, as we mentioned, from big Chris Harley a moment ago, and his running mate on the outside, Pete Swenson. Looking for Anthony Warham here on 3rd and 12, Dustin?
There's no question. That's the receiver you want to go to. You obvious throwing down here on 3rd down, and 82 is the guy you want to go to. He's matched up on the outside against Kyle Hammonds. There's going to be some sort of a call here, maybe a false start.
A whistle stopped that just about at snap time.
Delay.
Delay a game, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
How do you get a delay of game out of a timeout?
I'm not sure I can answer that question. And I'm sure Brock's back and possibly his offensive coordinator, Kirk Beathard. Not quite sure either.
That's a big one. And so your play call here on third down probably doesn't change all that much.
Third and 17.
Yeah.
Roberson. Gonna unload deep. Incomplete. He was taking a shot into coverage with fleet wide receiver Christian Gibbs, and Illinois State going to have to punt the football away on 4th and 17 with a minute 35 left in the half.
Got the receiver bracketed Christian Gibbs down the seam between Miles Spearman and Adam Brott, the Will linebacker. It's a good matchup for Roberson. You got to put that one on him, though. But again, because they took time out, Michael, after first down, they lose those yards, take a timeout. Western Illinois has a minute and 35 here. There's a lot of time here if you're a Leatherneck fan to get something going offensively before halftime.
Attard will hang it high. The run up from Lance Lenore, who makes the sliding catch at the 22-yard line.
Well, you know a name we haven't called in about a quarter. He wears the number 13, Stacy Smith. He's a big playmaker. He had the kickoff return. He had the big play, 47-yarder, to set up that opening field goal drive. And this is a situation, remember, he will not only play receiver, but he'll sometimes come in the backfield and carry the football. Jet sweeps, little wildcat from time to time. He's a shifty guy. But for some reason, we haven't called his name for a little while. Keep an eye on number 13.
In the slot, as you see, top of your screen. Sean McGuire to put it up. That was deflected. That had a shot of being picked off as he wanted to check down, and it's incomplete. Charles Westbrook on the football field.
And Westbrook just runs this little angle route out of the backfield, and I think it was tipped there. You're right. Matt McCown, number 99, gets one of his paws up. He's had a couple of batted balls this afternoon.
2nd and 10 now for McGuire. Western Illinois trailing 7-6. Zone read run game with Charles Westbrook. Give Westbrook 5 to the 27-yard line.
This coach back, think about another timeout here.
He has 1 to operate with, and Bob Nielsen, conversely, he has 2 to operate with. Now they're going to pick up the tempo here on 3rd down and 5. So we're inside 60 seconds left, as you see, in the first half. Westbrook offset. 3rd and 5 for McGuire. Gunning middle off the hands of Lance Lenore. Both quarterbacks having problems keeping their offenses on the football field today. That's 0 for 9 on 3rd down opportunities for Sean McGuire.
Yeah, I don't know where he's throwing this football to. I think you're right. I think it was to Lance Lenore, but it was Stacy Smith coming over who puts his hands up thinking it's coming to him because the ball was a little bit high, and it threw it off, and they're lucky that they're going to be able to punt this away on 4th down because that could have been intercepted.
Well, both squads' punt cover units have been 2 of the most important facets of each squad's game today.
Well, you know who I played for and what he said.
I do. Attard drilled this, and this is Anthony Warham. Warham's got space. Good cut. Warham inside the 30. Big return from Anthony Warham, Illinois State.
The most important thing to do as a punt returner is make the first man miss. Warham right here, the point of attack is going to put a great move on Dwayne Phillips, the defensive back, go out there on special teams. Once you make that first man miss, then it becomes athleticism and vision. You get up the field, and at this point, he kind of runs into his own guys, to be honest with you. It slows him down a little bit, but that's a huge return, and they've got a great opportunity here.
27 seconds, they've got a timeout in their pocket.
Plenty of time. You're thinking 6 here right now.
Leading by 1 at 7-6, Trey Roberson. Going to throw that screen, and this is Marshawn Coppridge. Coppridge will stay alive. That late flag, though, is probably going to negate The strong move inside the 20 from Marshawn Coppridge.
We'll see if this is going to be a hold, because if it is, it's going to be a big penalty for the Illinois State offense. They'll back them up 10 yards, spot foul, but they're already in field goal range. This will back them up quite a bit.
Holding, offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So now it's a 52-yard field goal from here. That's a huge penalty. Huge penalty. I think they got number 77 there. Kyle Avaloy, the left guard. Just grabs a little jersey, trying to hold the defender off, catching Coppridge down from behind.
Oh, with only 11 seconds left, I mentioned the timeouts available. Brock Spack is going to burn the second timeout for Illinois State. So they've got one left, 10 seconds left. And, you know, for Trey Roberson, you know, there are a couple availabilities here. Dustin, I'm not sure that Brock Spack, you're right, from here it's 52 yards on the field. I'm not sure, though, Brock Spack is feeling real good about Trey Roberson putting the football up right now.
Well, why would you? I don't think you can feel very confident at this point, because he's been off all afternoon. And I think the game plan may be for Coach Spack, especially in the second half. I'm not saying you're looking to go to your backup, Jake Colby, who coach has been raving about.
Yes.
And the arm talent that he has. But if you find yourself into a game that's more of a dogfight, you may have to consider doing everything to stay alive, because right now Roberson has just been so uncomfortable. But on this play right here, you got to get 5 yards.
All right, keep an eye on the clock. 10 seconds left. Roberson gunning in the seam. He almost got picked off for the third time today. He was looking at Tyler Petkovich. Well, it was nowhere near Petkovich, quite frankly. And Adam Brott had the PBU in the secondary.
Look at the ball come off his hand. It just doesn't have great accuracy. It doesn't have great spin. It doesn't look comfortable. And you're right, that was nearly intercepted by Adam Brott, the sophomore backer from Missouri. And they're lucky here now to have an opportunity at a 52-yard kick, but I'm just a little baffled. You had one timeout remaining. You could have ran the football just to try and pick up 5-6 yards and make this more of a manageable kick.
From 52 yards, it's not going to get there. It's going to come up short. Sean Slattery did not hit it the way he needed to. Now we've got a flag on the play. The clock went to 000. There's a flag, though. If it's on Western Illinois, Slattery's going to get another shot from 47 yards.
Well, this better be a 15-yard penalty, because that was about 15 yards short from making that kick.
There is no foul for leaping on the play. Halftime.
Referee Bruce Bondi picks up the flag, and this defensive dominated, special teams dominated first 30 minutes of football. Both head coaches will exit Hancock Stadium to talk to their football teams, with Illinois State holding a 7-6 lead. Defenses have been stellar. Offenses, not a lot of third down conversions for either quarterback. Trey Roberson, Illinois State, or Sean McGuire of Western Illinois. Let's check in with the ultra-successful head coach here of Illinois State, Brock Spack. Brock, Michael Regai, Dustin Fox. After that first drive, opening quarter, everything efficient. How do you get Trey Roberson and the offense back on course here second half?
Well, we threw interceptions. We're turning the ball over. We can't do that. He's not making good decisions. So we got to settle him down and just get him throwing the right people.
Coach, one of the things we talked about, and I'm not sure, I'm curious your thoughts. Second game without playing with that brace on his hand, is that affecting him a little bit?
I don't know. I don't think that's an issue, but I guess we'll have to ask him at halftime. But I don't think so. I just think it's just his timing's off a little bit. It's typical of when you lay off, the passing game kind of suffers on a bye week. So we try to simulate that in practice, but we're just not hitting on all cylinders right now. But we need to regroup, and we have the possession here start the second half and get it going.
Brock, we appreciate it. Good luck.
Hey, no problem. Bye-bye.
Brock Spack, very, very successful head football coach here at Illinois State. All right, now that's pretty intriguing first 30 minutes of football. Maybe not what we expected. A lot of halftime coming up here with Illinois State on top of Western Illinois. 7-6. Don't go away. The shocking emotion of unexpected defeat. It's the Surrender Cobra. If anybody wants Surrender Cobra here today. Illinois State's Redbirds, the number 2 seed, hosting their in-state rival from Western Illinois. We're back with more from Normal right after this timeout.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the college football playoff.
Second half promises to be one that will probably have some drama attached to it. Illinois State, the number 2 seed, on top of their in-state rival and Missouri Valley Conference rivals, the Leathernecks of Western Illinois 7-6. With Dustin Fox, our producer David Ashbrock, director Sam Ramos, all of our terrific crew. I'm Michael Regai. 30 minutes in the books, and when you kind of sort everything out here, defense has dominated, of course. The turnovers for Illinois State have turned into a problem. Only 155 yards of total offense for Trey Roberson and company.
Yeah, the turnovers have been really what has kept Western in the ball game. But both defenses have both had their issues, or offense, I should say, have had their issues against these defenses, but it's been Roberson. The turnovers, the interception here from Brett Taylor, terrific job by him. And in this one, he just doesn't see Timothy Smith, drops back into coverage and makes a terrific play.
Yeah, he did. And unfortunately, though, for the Western Illinois perspective, their offense has been pretty much Nathan Knuffman with a pair of field goals. They haven't been able to capitalize and get in the end zone.
No, they have not, but at least they have 6 points on the board, and credit him because he's been really all the offense. But Roberson, early in the game, that's what he does best, pulling the football out and getting big yards down the field. But again, take a look at the defense.
David Perkins.
Illinois State, the defense. You thought this was going to be the opportunity for Illinois State to get some points near the end of the first half. Anthony Warren with a huge kick, or a punt return, I should say, to set Illinois State up, unable to capitalize.
There's your only touchdown in the opening half as Marshawn Coppridge powered his way in from a couple of yards out. All right, let's take a look at those numbers I'm telling you about. Not gaudy by any stretch of the imagination. The 0 for 9 on third downs has absolutely just really prevented Western Illinois from continuing drives.
It's been a killer. Both teams have had 2 issues here. The turnovers for Illinois State, 0 for 9 on third down. That is why this game is 6-7. A defensive struggle here in the first half. There's got to be some offensive explosion in the second half. Both teams have too much talent on that side of the ball to only have 13 points combined at halftime.
Well, we asked Brock Spack, the head coach of Illinois State, how he would look to get Trey Roberson and his offense back into more of a flow that they've seen here in Normal all year long. 7-6, the lead is but 1. Illinois State start the third quarter with a football. Hang on, this is a good one. Second round, FCS playoffs. Well, the second half begins. We chat with Bob Nielsen, the head coach of Western Illinois. Bob, you got to be thrilled defensively. You have done a superb job getting off the football field and keeping this high-powered offense down.
We played good defense. We've got to capitalize on those opportunities that we had in the first half, and we're going to have to play a lot better offensively this half.
Coach, last week against Dayton, we saw a lot of carries for Nico Watson in the second half to really sort of wore down that Dayton defense. Do you expect to see more of that today?
Well, we're going to have some balance. They're a very good defensive football team, and if we don't throw the football with our running game, it's going to be a long half.
Bob, good luck second half. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Bob Nielsen, head football coach, Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year. Michael Regai, Dustin Fox, as we get back with you to start quarter number 3. For Western Illinois, it was succinct and right to the point for Bob Nielsen. You would imagine, Dustin, that both these head coaches, though, had a lot to say to their football teams about execution and being able to play the way they've normally played football throughout the course of the year.
Well, here's the good news for both teams. There's 30 minutes of football left, and it's essentially a tie ball game. It's like 0-0. You're basically playing 30 minutes for the rest of the season, win or go home in this situation. So that's easy to motivate your guys to come out in the second half. And I think if you're looking at Illinois State standpoint, they get the football here. Critical for them to try and get something going offensively. And I'm curious to see how Trey Roberson does in this second half. Can he settle down in the pocket And as we mentioned with Coach, we asked him going to halftime, was that brace, not having that brace on his hand, affecting the way he's throwing the football? You know, I'm not sure you put the freshman quarterback in a game situation like this, but Roberson, the first half, he really struggled. 6 for 16 in the 2 interceptions is what's so glaring for that offense.
I think as we mentioned before the football game, as we chatted with Brock Spack on the field during warm-ups, he said that he has an uncanny ability to pull himself out of tough situations. Roberson to keep the football. Was looking to throw, looking to put it up, and saw some green in front of him. That's 8 on the first down carry from Trey Roberson.
And maybe that's what they need to do offensively. That's a good start on first down. Much more manageable second down here coming up. And what Roberson did there that I liked is that he didn't see anything open down the field, so he didn't try and force the throw. He tucked it down, he ran it, picks up 8 yards. That's okay. That's a win in that situation.
Well, if you've noticed through the first half, they aren't a tempo football team. They huddle. Marshawn Coppridge got a first down. So back-to-back carries from Trey Roberson and Marshawn Coppridge. Moving the chains for Illinois State.
That's easy money. 2nd and 2. You got a guy like Coppridge in the backfield. Big offensive line, physical. Give it off to Coppridge and pick up the first down, and you have something positive here to build off of offensively to start the second half.
Well, he's a home run hitter,
yes,
as
he
we
is.
know. I mean, he can house it anywhere on the football field.
Like he had 250 yards on the ground last game of the season.
In a snowstorm here, Roberson going to come up short as he one hop. Is intended wide receiver Bryce Jefferson. Jefferson, the true freshman. Illinois State averages 35 points a game. They put up on average 420 yards of total offense per game. And as we alluded to, they're nowhere near that here through the first half. But remember, Roberson last year in a playoff run had a big 47-yard touchdown run at New Hampshire in the semis. And so, again, this is the kind of guy that can turn it around quickly. 2nd and 10, he's going to check down, and he's got Jefferson. There's the pitch and catch strike that Trey Roberson was looking for. Midfield stripe, first down, Illinois State.
Easily the best throw of the day from Trey Roberson. Stands in the pocket, sees his freshman wide receiver, sits down right over the middle of the field, goes through the progression, fires it into coverage, into zone coverage. That's something that they can build off of. Best throw by far of the afternoon for Roberson.
And Dustin, quite frankly, they huddle after every snap, which is uncommon around the college game today.
Unless you're Nick Saban.
Correct.
who does huddle. But most teams, you're right, Michael, play with some sort of tempo.
Zone read run game, nowhere to go. Gavin Ricketts absolutely just destroyed any opportunity for Coppridge to find a cutback lane.
This is just fundamentally sound football by Gavin Ricketts here on the outside. He knifes down to his gap, and then he stays outside, gets outside of Cameron Lee, the right guard, sets the edge. That's something you hear a term thrown around in football all the time, set the edge. Gavin Ricketts sets the edge there. There's nowhere for Coppridge to go. Great job defensively.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Ricketts making a play. Roberson going to go up top. Good check down as he's able to connect with Anthony Warham. Warham running a comeback route on this near sideline, and Roberson checked it down and found him.
Warham's had a nice little first half. Had the nice punt return, had a few catches. There weren't many catches in that first half, but the ones that were made were by number 82, and that's a good one there on second down, because what it does now is you have 3rd and 2 coming up here, and you got options, and they're pretty good.
There's Anthony Warham, as you see, as he shows up in the top 12 in 3 different FCS categories. 3rd down and 3. Roberson, straight quarterback run. He got crunched as making that stop for Western Illinois was Kyle Hammonds. Hammonds a backup corner, and he rocked Roberson.
Absolutely devastating tackle here from Kyle Hammonds. I don't know how he makes it. I mean, this is just reckless abandon from Kyle Hammonds. He comes up there and knifes down Roberson. Beautiful tackle to get him on the ground. And I'll tell you what, that looked like it was going to be a first down when Roberson bounced it outside and just out of nowhere flies in number 11 to make the stop.
Reese Attard to again put the football away for Illinois State. It's been a busy day for both Reese Attard of Illinois State and his counterpart Nathan Knuffman from Western Illinois. 7-6, only one touchdown on the board today. Western Illinois with a football when we come back. Great to have you along as you're watching the NCAA FCS Football Championship presented by Northwestern Mutual out of beautiful Hancock Stadium here on the campus. Illinois State, Normal, Illinois. Sean McGuire, the Western Illinois QB, comes out gunning his throw on time to Lance Lenore, who's had a rather quiet afternoon in the first half.
And he's going to have a big second half here. As I asked Coach, I said, you got to get Nico Watson involved. We expect to see a bunch of carries in the second half. He said, we got to be balanced. We got to be able to throw the football to help set up some of the runs. Well, that's a good start to the second half. Another one.
Same throw, same result. Lance Lenore hooking up with quarterback Sean McGuire. And that's going to move the sticks on the back-to-back connections from McGuire to Lenore for Western Illinois.
Yeah, you better believe that Brock's back and his defensive coordinator Spence Nowinski remember 2014. Lance Lenore tore him up. In that game, he had 195 yards receiving last season against Illinois State. They know how dynamic number 7 can be.
Off play action. Lenore's going to look to get a shot from McGuire as he was running step for step with Devontae Harris on that sideline hitch and go.
Trying to hit him with a double move on the outside. I like the call, but excellent discipline from Devontae Harris to not only stay with him and not bite on the move, but stay on top of the route. That's the most important thing, especially in a double move situation. Terrific job from the boundary corner.
On 2nd and 10, McGuire going to put it in the hands of Stacy Smith. Look at the speed outside the numbers as Smith will roll his way to the 39-yard line. That's 16 yards, a Western Illinois first down.
One of our impact players on a little bubble screen here on the outside. Bubble pass to Stacy Smith, his third big play of the game, and they needed that one in a big way. Picks up the first down and a really good field position here for the Leatherneck offense.
He's a big playmaker. Touchdown last week, touchdown catch in the end zone to help put the Western Illinois win over Dayton away. Zone read and run the football with Nico Watson. A look at Illinois State closing down on that beautifully as that stop was Matt McCown. McCown also getting some help from Teddy Corwin.
Well, you remember back to the first game when Nico Watson only had 53 yards in that game. They claimed that he was coming off an ankle injury.
Yeah.
He really struggled against Northern Iowa, and then going into that game against ISU, he had the ankle problem. So far, the running game's having the same issues.
Play action. The deep out from McGuire. Lenore made a terrific grab at the 38-yard line of Illinois State. That was excellent ball placement from Sean McGuire.
Lance Lenore with his third reception on this drive. Deep out, right to the sideline, and that's good in the NFL. Both feet inbounds. He does double catch it a little bit towards the end. That's a good catch. Terrific concentration to haul that one in. Great throw from McGuire. His best throw of the day so far.
On the 38-yard line, McGuire going to step up. Borsellino tried to lay out, and they're going to give him that catch. Joey Borsellino laid out at the 29-yard line, and that's called a good catch.
Michael, that's an 8-yard throw that was really like a 45-yard throw from McGuire because he's rolling out and he has to throw it to the far sideline. They'll take a look at this one to make sure that he's able to haul this one in. But what a good job by Borsellino. I think he gets his paws up underneath it, but they'll take another look at this. This will go to replay to make sure that he has possession.
The ruling on the field was a catch. That play is under further review.
Rule to catch on the field.
Yes.
The most important thing right now because they have to be able to look back at this thing and see. We have a variety of angles. This might be a good one here. I'll tell you what, Michael, his forearms look like it's underneath the ball. Remember,
I agree.
If the ball moves, that's okay.
It was moving a lot.
That's okay, though. If his arms are underneath the ball, it bounces. But if it bounces off of his paws,
cradled up on his shoulder pad.
That's a good catch. The official the line judge is right there.
Yep.
Remember, he's got the best view of the whole thing. So when they go back to this and try and take a look at this, it's going to be ruled a catch on the field. That's the most important thing about this. I think it's going to be hard to overturn that. What do you think?
I agree. As you said, it's got to be indisputable video evidence to support overturning the ruling of a catch on the field. Bob Nielsen talking to his assistant coaches, you can see him say, is it a catch?
Well, and on that view, he comes in, his paws are underneath, his forearms are underneath it, and then he corrals it. This will be the last look you get to see it.
It'll go up on his pad.
It goes up on his pad. And then again, when the officials go back and look at this, they see that line judge off there to the right and say, okay, his eyes are better than our camera view right now, and he called it a catch on the field.
Yep. Referee Bruce Bondi with the decision.
After review, the play stands as called on the field.
Not confirmed, stands. There's a difference, because confirmed would be like they saw it absolutely, there's no doubt about it. But stands means they went with the call, the official makes the call on the field, and there's nothing on video that says, well, you got to change it.
You described that perfectly, because that's the important thing to remember. The first point of emphasis is, what was it ruled, called on the field? Then you go from there. 9-yard hookup, McGuire trying to stay hot. Lance Lenore has dropped his third pass opportunity of the day. He did not look it in. Would have been another first down.
Well, I'm not sure if the sun's in his eyes there on that play, but you're right, Michael. That's his third drop of the afternoon. And it's concentration, because these are wide open throws, wide open catches that should be made by the junior wide receiver who's been one of the most prolific wide receivers ever at the university. That's got to be caught.
Back to the zone read run game, and David Perkins just tracked down Nico Watson from the backside. Now that was a third and a long one. We think it came up short here. Fourth down, less than the yard.
Guess who's coming in here? A little heavy package. They're going to bring in Kalen Saunders, the big defensive tackle, number 81. Take a look at number 81 here. Comes in as an extra tight end, big-bodied guy on the outside there.
And also Cal Breedlove, number 87, a 270-pounder. Fourth down and 1. Breedlove will motion. Watson got the first down. Only needed probably a half to 3/4 of a yard. Jumbo package, success, Western Illinois.
It's going to be a 22 personnel package with number 81, Kalen Saunders. He motions over. And then what a great block there. Going to get from the other tight end, Larry Harris, the senior tight end, who also comes over and opens up that hole. But they didn't need much. They just needed about a half a yard.
Yeah, how about Harris, a 240-pound starting tight end? He's caught one ball this year. But he is a demon in their run game and their blocking packages and scheme for Nico Watson.
Well, they will measure this, but I think they got it. That's Lenore thinks they have it.
The line to make was virtually just inside the 29.
Boy, they got to tighten this chain up because it's going to be close. Oh, they got it.
First down, Western Illinois, and the Fighting Leatherneck throng right in front of us, appreciative in this one-point football game as we near the midway portion of quarter number 3.
Look at that helmet. Look at the helmet from Nico Watson. The paint chips are coming off.
Tells you everything you need to know, right?
He's a bowling ball. He is. I mean, the guy, all he does is carry the football, especially in second halves of games. And that's why I asked Coach, I think you'll see a lot more of him here as they go in the second half. You try to wear down this defense and possessions become vital and they're limited. You want time of possession to be in your favor.
McGuire gonna run Nico Watson again, that zone read game. That's the inside zone play, and Nico Watson's got 5 down to the 23-yard line.
Now Nico's rolling a little bit here.
How about this offensive line, too, led by Jacob Judd for Western Illinois, the sophomore center. Watson again. Not much there. Watson got drilled by Alejandro Rivera. There's Alejandro, 215-pound junior out of Sterling here in the state of Illinois.
A great story. Alejandro Rivera is former walk-on here at Illinois State and has just earned his playing time, earned every opportunity the hard way. Very smart player. They say he's as steady as it gets on the football field.
Spencer Nowinski, the defensive
Loves
coordinator,
him.
raved
Loves him.
about him to
Loves
us
him.
yes, this week. 3rd down and 4 for McGuire. 4 wide receivers. Steve McShane in the football game. McGuire going to take a shot for Lenore. Got it! Touchdown! Western Illinois! That was quite a throw from Sean McGuire.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Biggest catch by far of the career of Lance Lenore. Terrific throw from McGuire. He somehow gets behind the secondary. He makes a diving effort to haul that one in. And boys and girls, do we have a little upset brewing?
A lot of time to go, my partner friend. A lot of time to go here as we.
You cool with going for one here, Michael?
Yeah, I don't want to start chasing points right away. That got rejected and blocked.
Sorry.
Illinois State blocked the Nathan Knuffman point after touchdown opportunity. No, it will stay on just a 5-point Western Illinois lead. So you wanted to think about taking it up to 7 here, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and see what the book says on this one. Because there is a book, but boy, what penetration up the middle. That's too easy.
Yeah, Matt McCown, some of that penetration. But how about the hookup? Excellent ball placement from Sean McGuire. The touchdown maker, Lance Lenore. Lance Lenore, big touchdown catch back of the end zone. His 7th TD reception of the year for Western Illinois after the failed PAT on top of Illinois State. Lenore's had a little bit of a up and down the roller coaster type day, but big play to give his team the lead.
He had 3 catches on this previous drive, none bigger than this one right here that puts him into Illinois State territory, and then they come right back to him. Joey Borsellino, that is going to be looked at by replay, stands as called on the field, and then they come right back to Lance Lenore, back of the end zone for the touchdown. 6 catches on the day, but 3 catches on that drive. He had some drops early in the game as well, but he has certainly recovered from those drops and totally redeemed himself.
Lucado to boom the football away over the head of Jamal Towns. And not lots of opportunities today for this. Really saved that opening quarter, and then they got that terrific opportunity after the long punt return from Anthony Warham. But see Marshawn Coppridge, what he accomplished back on October 24th here against Western Illinois.
Now they've been able to move the ball on the ground. Over 115 yards on the afternoon, but they're going to need about another 100 here in the end of this third quarter, fourth quarter from Coppridge, because Roberson has struggled so much through the air that they're really going to have to rely on number 25.
Out of the pistol, and Marshawn Coppridge showing you that speed outside the numbers as he burst over the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 8 on first down to bring up 2nd and short for Marshawn Coppridge, the All-American.
Great play call. He bounces it outside. He sees his tight end there, has him pinned outside. He does a little bounce and picks up 8 yards on first down. That's a positive sign for this offense, but I think you just have to continue to ride the wave of Coppridge here in the second half. He had 250 yards his last game of the season. He had over 200 yards back-to-back weeks.
Inside zone, and Coppridge got belted. He absolutely got swaddled up as making that stop for Western Illinois was Eddie Holtzschlag out of Quincy, Illinois. Talk about the Holtzschlag family. We saw his father earlier today. It's a real family affair in this Western Illinois Leathernecks program.
Yeah, we saw Pops down on the concourse earlier before the game, and His dad's been to a lot of football games because his 3 sons have all played here for the Leathernecks.
How about that?
His twin brother Chip was a senior last season. Remember, Eddie had the red shirt, so they came in together, but they missed by 1 year.
3rd and 5. Roberson going to extend that play with his legs, and he'll dive for the first down. The line to gain was at the 35, and Roberson got there to keep the drive alive for Illinois State.
Barely got it, but again, this is the second time we've seen him do this from the pocket, where he sees nothing down the field, and he just tucks it and runs. And I think it was a smart call again, because you have to remember, that's 3rd down. You throw an incomplete pass there or something over the middle that gets intercepted. He's already thrown 2 picks on the afternoon. So for him to pull it down there and pick up the first down, very heady play from the senior.
The Indiana Hoosiers transfer. Trey Roberson back to the ground game. Coppridge will use the burst to bang over the 40. He's got 5. He averages again, an eye-popping over 6 yards per carry this year. And of course, the 21 touchdowns with his TD run in the first half.
Shows the vision on that play. Cut it back. A lot of times a play is designed to go as a stretch, or they run the zone blocking scheme here at Illinois State, so he's trying to stay behind his offensive lineman, but he's got such great vision that he'll be able to cut it back, and sometimes he takes those to the house.
On 2nd and 6, stretch play in the run game. Look at the spin from Coppridge. He had to get out of that first hit from Brett Taylor.
Taylor has him dead to rights in the backfield. You're right, Michael. He hits that Braxton Miller spin here in the backfield to pick up a couple of yards. Right there, Taylor has him, and then spins out of it just to pick up an extra about 2 or 3 yards. Whop, hits that circle button on PlayStation.
Is Braxton going to try to put a patent and trademark that spin?
He should.
We saw an opening night against Virginia Tech.
And then was it Carlos Hyde from the Niners backed it up, same play, and then they were going back and forth on social media about it.
This is 3rd and 4, straight quarterback run. Roberson's got a first down. Well, Roberson hit that crease, pushed back by Eddie Holtzschlag, but that's a first down. So Trey Roberson on a 3rd and 5, and now on a 3rd and 4, has used legs, straight quarterback run to move the chains.
Look, this is a senior quarterback who's played a lot of football for this program. He's been in a lot of big games, going back to last season when they went to Frisco, Texas to play for the national championship. He understands about high-pressure situations, and he also understands the situation. He's a smart kid who's tough, who's a leader, and he's going to realize that in 3rd down situations, he may have to take it into his own hands and run a little bit.
He was at his best during the FCS playoffs a year ago. Play action. Roberson going to load it up for Warren. He made a fabulous grab. Oh, how about the catch from Anthony Warren inside the 10-yard line.
Michael, this play is all Anthony Warren. Not a pretty ball. It's a little bit underthrown. But again, a lot of credit to Trey Roberson because he sees the mismatch on the outside. Your all Missouri Valley Conference wide receiver number 82, Anthony Warren. You absolutely have to. This is the perfect situation. Remember, if you run with Roberson, you get an extra blocker. When the quarterback carries the football, you have an extra blocker, an extra hat on the hat on that defense. Here you go.
A couple of tight ends. Roberson with speed. Got outside the numbers, but couldn't get the corner turn. Ushered out of bounds at the 5-yard line. This is going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 5.
Remember, Dallas Nichols, who's a free safety, also plays a little bit of will linebacker here. Great job staying outside and running down Roberson, an athletic guy. Talking about Dallas Nichols, he was suspended earlier in the year, came back for the Dayton game last week. Now he's back out here playing in nickel packages. That's a really good play from Dallas Nichols.
He's had 2 interceptions on the year, 5 pass breakups, and this is, as you said, a guy that comes in nickel and dime. All right, 3rd and goal from the 6. Roberson, quarterback draw. Roberson near the goal line. He's powered in. No signal yet, though. We have not had a signal on the field as of yet. Trey Roberson.
It's your senior quarterback, design quarterback run. Even Coppridge gets up there to make a block. But at the end of this run, watch the offensive lineman come up here to push him into the end zone, and they absolutely had to have it. I think they may have went for it on 4th and goal from the one either way, but they got the touchdown on 3rd down. Michael, how many plays on that drive? 3 third-down conversions because of Roberson and his legs.
No question about it. We'll mark that drive down for just that very reason, as we've pointed out. Now, with a 1-point lead here at 13-12, you see Trey Roberson looking over at Brock Spack. They're gonna go for the 2-point conversion here to try to make this lead at 3. Leading by 2 doesn't do you any good.
In my mind, I'm going right back to Roberson. How about this empty set? You've got quads to your right here. Something fishy's up here for this Illinois State offense.
Gonna throw the fade. Warham! Did he haul it in? 2-point conversion. Successful Illinois State.
Doesn't have to be pretty, Michael. Doesn't have to be pretty.
As you pointed out, they had a 4 wide receiver bunch package at the bottom of the formation and had Warham isolated.
Just try and isolate Warham here off to the outside. This is a win route, and we've got a ball game, Michael. 15-12 from Normal, Illinois.
October 24th, right here at Hancock Stadium. Valley battle, and Trey Roberson was up to the task. Huge plays in the second half as Illinois State exploded by Western Illinois.
Huge plays from Coppridge, huge plays from Roberson, and guess what we're seeing today? Huge plays again from all 3 of their playmakers. There's Anthony Warham, who just caught a huge play on that previous drive. And we'll take a look at the big plays today. In a moment, Anthony Warham had that
49-yard catch.
49-yard catch, the 2-point conversion.
Got him inside the 10. Here it is.
Here it is.
The end zone look.
Again, he's matched up with David Griffith, the safety, over top there. I don't know if it's a blown coverage or what, but Roberson makes a couple of big plays as well with his legs.
Football on the boundary, kicked out of bounds. Brock Spack is not going to like that, as that is going to set up Western Illinois at the 35-yard line. Football kicked out of bounds.
I mean, that's as good as a excellent kickoff return.
Kick out of bounds. That ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Western Illinois.
That's our referee, Bruce Bondi, today. All right, 15-12, late third, 53 seconds left. Know you're enjoying this. Presented by Northwestern Mutual, our NCAA Division I football championship. Second round, 16 squads left. Illinois State by 3 at 15-12. Sean McGuire's been hot. He stays hot. He just drilled that dig route to Joey Borsellino. Borsellino, that's 13 yards. First down, Leathernecks.
Give Borsellino a lot of credit. He's on the same page with his quarterback, Sean McGuire, on that play. And they're going to go with the tempo here on second down, something the Illinois State hasn't done, but Western's going to try and use it on first down.
This is Nico Watson. He got tracked down from the backside. Well, that's an outstanding hit coming off the edge from Alex Donnelly. We've called Donnelly a lot today. This is his 51st career football game, by the way, for Brock Spack. Been playing since he came in as a freshman.
Again, as we talked about Donnelly earlier, Michael, he was recruited here as a safety. The guy's been through it all. 4-year starter, as you mentioned. He's athletic. Played the season with a cast on his hand. He put a pin put in his hand. Tough physical football player. That's what you want at a program like Illinois State. You want to have guys like Alex Donnelly.
False start. 55 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Partner, I would offer this up to you with your comment about if you're not a tough physical football player, you've got no chance to play for Brock Spack here. None.
No, there's no question. There's like 4 guys on this team that have had metal inserted into their bodies this season, and they're out here playing right now.
Same might be said for that man, too. The Missouri Valley Conference Coach of the Year, Bob Nielsen. How about this for the first 45 minutes of football? 50-12, Illinois State. It's decided when we get back. You're watching the NCAA FCS Football Championship presented by Northwestern Mutual, Hancock Stadium. This energy personified all day long. Big crowd from the campus. home of the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. McGuire wasn't ready for that snap, but it sailed over his head from his center, Jacob Judd, and that's going to cost Western Illinois in an enormous way.
Michael, I think this is on McGuire. I think the snap was right to him. I don't think he was paying attention. Maybe he was looking to the sidelines or trying to get something else. I don't think he was looking for the football.
That is a 21-yard loss.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's going to bring up third down and an almost maybe unattainable 34. And they're going to run the football. And for a couple is all as Stacy Smith lined up offset and ran the football. And Bob Nielsen now is going to have to be content with getting his punt cover unit out and kicking the football away.
What a devastating play, Michael. On second down to have the snap over to the quarterback's head. Again, I think, take a look at the snap. Tell me what you think. I think he's not ready for the ball.
He certainly was not prepared for the snap. Knuffman kick it away to Anthony Warham, who'll fair catch. Remember, it was Warham's huge punt return late in the first half that put Illinois State in operating position. 13:52, fourth quarter. Illinois State's lead is 3. All right, here's our Northwest Mutual planning for success. Early fourth quarter with Illinois State on top, 15-12. Dustin, how did we present this today?
Well, let's take a look at it. Tackle well for Western Illinois. Check. Shut down the big play for the most part until this third quarter. So they got to do a better job here in the fourth quarter. And then Illinois State staying ahead of the chains is something that they haven't done until the third quarter. So I think our keys were on point, and both teams now have to try and avoid a letdown here in the fourth quarter.
Marshawn Coppridge, see the explosion on out of that run game. That's that inside zone read, and Coppridge got 6 into Western Illinois territory. That tells you all you need to know about when winning time comes. Illinois State knows how to handle it.
Yeah, I mean, look, Western Illinois had the lead in the third quarter, and Illinois State came back and took that lead just moments ago. Okay, the first time they met on October 24th, same thing happened. And then what happened? They blew the game open in the third and fourth quarter. Western Illinois has to do a good job, especially on this possession, of not allowing the momentum to shift back to the Redbirds.
25th carry of the afternoon from Marshawn Coppridge, and how about that open field tackle before he could get started? That's that tackle came from Dallas Nichols on the hit.
Well, we talked about Nichols, who's back playing now after his suspension, came back last week, and today he's had 2 really good tackles. He plays nickel. He's a safety who plays a little bit of nickel / will linebacker because he's kind of a big kid, but also very athletic. He comes in the game on third down, second and long, third down situations. He's still in the game right now, but he's done a really good job today.
It's 3rd and 3 with 4 wide receivers. Roberson to keep the football. First down, Trey Roberson to the 39-yard line. That's a gain of 9. No doubt about, since that last drive, Roberson's legs have ignited Illinois State's own.
Starting to see a trend here on 3rd and medium to 3rd and short. And that's Trey Roberson, as you mentioned, Michael, picking up first downs with his legs. And why wouldn't they continue to stay with Roberson because it's been so successful?
Come inside, 12 minutes left as you look at the numbers today for Trey Roberson. And this is Marshawn Coppridge, second level and more to the 32-yard line. That's 8 more. Do you get the sense that this Illinois State offensive line, led by Mark Spellman, the center, and Kyle Avaloy, the left guard, starting to wear down now Western Illinois?
I do, because I see offensive linemen on Illinois State making blocks at the second level, which means they're confident. They're getting to the second level. You've got guys like Danny Pollock and Kyle Avaloy who are getting to linebackers and allowing Coppridge in that space to make some moves.
Roberson to keep the football. Outside the numbers with speed. Trey Roberson to the house. Touchdown, Illinois State.
Can you say angle killer? Roberson gets himself to the outside. Read option, he keeps it, and he's all alone. And Kyle Hammonds comes up here with an angle. Absolutely should make the tackle, and Roberson beats him to the edge, beats him to the end zone. When we talked to Coach Spack before the game, and he talked about how he will not go in the tank, he will not allow himself, when he struggles offensively with throws or his confidence, he never lacks it. He comes back and makes big-time play after big-time play, and just when they needed it the most, guess who steps up?
The last 2 drives. Trey Roberson. Sean Slattery at the PAT. Now they're going to look at, did he step out of bounds? Possibly.
Not there?
I don't think so.
Not there. Ooh.
Toe
at the 10, 15. Close.
Right toe, possibly. Every touchdown play, of course, is reviewable.
Tight ropes it up the sideline.
Once he got that corner turn, though, he showed you his electrified speed.
A look here. About the 15.
Right here it was. I didn't see the end of it.
All good.
Slattery will add the PAT. The last 2 drives have put 15 points on the board for the Redbirds of Illinois State. They've turned a 12-7 deficit into a 10-point, 22-12 lead. $15 unanswered points from the number 2 seed in the FCS playoffs, giving Illinois State now a 22-12 lead. Dustin, 3 different times he converted third downs with his legs on the previous drive.
I think they're sensing the fact that Roberson can beat this defense with his legs, and this is another third down. Driving, fighting, clawing, scratching into the end zone, and then this last drive, this last touchdown, he burns to the edge, leaves the Western Illinois defense in the dust, and then right to the corner of the end zone to take a 10-point lead. Michael, that is a 15-point swing.
Yep. From down 5 now to up 10. Just like that.
Big time. Yeah. 15 unanswered points from this Redbirds offense. And really,
he's righted himself because of the first half.
His numbers through the air
have
not been good. Let's face it. But he's been able to redeem himself, as you were alluding to there, with his legs. You're right.
All right, this short kick, and this is Stacy Smith on the run. Dangerous Stacy Smith to the 29-yard line on that return. All right, now let's flip it over and take a look at Bob Nielsen and his Western Illinois Leathernecks offense. They, of course, you know, they feature a heavy dosage of Nico Watson, but Sean McGuire has been hot here in the second half.
He has, and he's been able to be on the same page with his wide receivers, Borsellino, and more importantly, Lance Lenoir, the star wide receiver, the All-American, All-Missouri Valley Conference wide receiver who has made a couple of big plays. But to your point about Nico Watson and how much he means to this offense, it's a 2-possession game. Okay,
he's not in the football game right now. They got Stacy Smith at the running back.
And at some point, you're going to have to throw the ball a lot to get back in this game.
McGuire going to load up. Lenoir, he made a terrific grab at the 45-yard line. That sideline throw that Lance Lenoir went up and got in traffic.
Little double move, wheel route here on the outside, and then this is all him. This is all Lance Lenoir on the outside. Look at this little stutter. He gets his cornerback who he's matched up against with Devontae Harris to look in the backfield.
Trying to run Lance Lenoir again and get him vertical, and McGuire overthrew him. As we were looking at the previous excellent hookup between Sean McGuire and Lance Lenoir.
What an amazing athlete Lenoir is. I mean, we've talked to the staff, but I'll be honest, I mean, is watching this guy play, second week in a row we had a chance to see him. I mean, he's got NFL talent. There's no question.
Oh, yeah. 6'1", 200 pounds.
Great ball skills, most importantly.
I agree with you. Good route runner, too. McGuire off play action. Look at him gun that dart to Joey Borsellino. Borsellino has worked the intermediate areas in the middle of the football field beautifully today.
Remember, you've got a new starter back there as a safety. Sonny Esteem is starting because Alex Coker got injured early in the season. Taking advantage of that.
McGuire going to take a shot for Lenoir near that pylon and overthrew him as Lenoir was being covered by Ladarius Newbold, a backup corner.
Well, Lance Lenore's out here running half gassers because they're going to throw him deep every single time. And he just, I mean, that's 3 plays in a row where they've run deep routes. He's going to need to get a quick blow, quick sip of water on the sidelines because they need him back in the game.
McGuire will trigger the out, and that is hauled in. And making that catch for McGuire was Jalen Acklin. McGuire now 10 of 14 here in the second half for 140 yards.
Where was this offense in the first half? I mean, they're opening up the offense, and McGuire is looking really comfortable. Well, he almost had a false start there.
Plenty of time in the play clock. It's only at 15. Nico Watson back in the football game on 3rd and 5. Play action. McGuire. And a throw to the pylon. Acklin's got it. Touchdown. Western Illinois. Jalen Acklin.
Well, Jalen Acklin's a guy who hasn't played a lot of football as a sophomore. Did get his only start of the year against Southern Illinois. But how about this guy coming up in a big spot? Somehow gets behind the defense of Illinois State. I think they weren't worried about him because he doesn't play that often. So he gets in the game. Lance Lenore's off on the sidelines, and all of a sudden you take advantage of a guy who kind of gets not a lot of attention. Wow.
Knuffman to attempt the PAT to bring the deficit back to 3 for Western Illinois. He will connect. Don't go anywhere. In fact, you better really buckle up because we're going to have one of these fantastic finishes today as Sean McGuire has been absolutely sugar sharp throwing the football in the second half.
Sugar sharp is a good way to put it. But Darius Newbolt's playing cornerback out here. And again, you can tell, and I played defensive back, when you are staring in the backfield looking at the quarterback like that, instead of staying with your receiver and looking and knowing where your receiver's at, you're just going to watch him complete passes. It's a bad, dangerous, vulnerable position to be in that Newbolt just was. And that was an easy throw. And listen, you got to give a lot of credit to Sean McGuire because sometimes when you see your receiver running down the sideline like that, wide open, it's a tough throw to make, because it's a bunny, right? You have to be able to put it on the money to him. What did he do? He put it on a dime.
He did. Terrific throw. Brock Spack knows that. As we said, McGuire has got ultra hot here in the second half. And maybe more importantly, bottom line, 15 unanswered points, Illinois State. They went from 12-7 down to 22-12 up. The answer, and to put 7 on the board, just under 10 minutes left, could be enormous for Western Illinois.
That was huge. To stop the bleeding. Because we talked about how many times Western has fallen apart in the second half. Well, that absolutely stopped the momentum.
The run-up return from Illinois State, and they have gotten some solid work in a kick return game. That's George Morera on that kickoff return. And now we've got, as you see, not only a little bit of a skirmish, but on that kick return unit for Illinois State, that's Sonny Esteem, slow to get up. Let's take a look and see if we can pick this out as Esteem got tangled up in this wash.
Well, Michael, this would be a huge loss for Illinois State if Esteem's not able to go after this play. You never want to speculate on the injury, but Sonny Esteem's playing as a senior starting right now for this defense because Alex Coker's out. Fractured his clavicle against Southern Illinois, and now Sonny Esteem has to play. You're talking about going to maybe Mitchell Breeze here, who's a redshirt freshman, or Luther Kirk on defense as he gets up gingerly. We hope he's okay, but that last drive for Western Illinois as an offense, where were they working? Middle of the field, deep down the field. If Esteem can't go, that's a huge loss.
We saw the issues that Ladarius Newbold had as he was on the football field. He's a backup during that last Western Illinois, what turned into be a touchdown possession.
They're young in the secondary. Josh Birch, is the senior starter at corner.
Yeah.
His first year as a starter. Played a little bit last year. But Devontae Harris is young. Soniel Esteem is a former special teams guy who's now playing a lot of football. It's a great story. But they need him out there.
And Illinois State may need a heavy dose of that young man as well. Marshawn Coppridge out of Victorville, California. The All-American running back who has been phenomenal in his Illinois State career. And this is Coppridge. And we got a couple. He's coming up to make that stop was David Griffith. Griffith, who wears number 38. Exceptional sophomore strong safety. No, you're enjoying this. The winner of this second-round matchup is limping off the football field is Adam Brott for Western Illinois. The winner of this one will play the winner of 7th-seeded Richmond, who hosts William and Mary today. 2nd and 8. Roberson off that read option will keep the football. Broke a tackle and picked up a first down. Oh, Trey Roberson putting all of his skills on display. He bounced off a hit from Timothy Smith and picked up the first down.
Well, that's what happens when you try and chicken wing this thing. And Timothy Smith does a good job getting off a block, but he comes in there and he doesn't wrap. He just throws his shoulder in there, and against a guy like Roberson, you're not going to be able to get him on the ground by just throwing your shoulder pads in there.
Trey Roberson, 2 drives ago, folks, turned what was a pedestrian afternoon for himself and took this football game over. Now can he finish it all? Roberson put it up. Came underneath. Was juggled around and almost caught by Christian Gibbs, the redshirt freshman. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
Well, Western Illinois has not brought a lot of pressure today with the extra bodies, but right here they do. Dallas Nichols is going to come on a blitz, and it creates some conflict in the backfield. Almost caught there by Christian Gibbs, but the reason the ball was a little bit off was because of the pressure from Dallas Nichols.
Let's check that. It'll be 2nd down and 10 here, of course, after the Roberson first down pickup. So 2nd and 10 with 4 wide receivers and Coppridge offset. This is Coppridge trying to get to the edge. But cut it back in, but that's an excellent open field tackle. Of course, that very good tacklers out of this secondary. They've done a terrific job. And again is Spellman, who's made good plays all day long.
That's a difficult position to be in. It's just open field tackling. They practice it every week as a defensive back. You practice that drill, but when you get in open space, typically in practice you're going against other defensive backs in individual drills. You're not going against Marshawn Coppridge, which is an unbelievable task, but give Spearman a lot of credit, and he's made a couple of those today.
3rd down and 5. Inside 8 left. Blitz coming from the edge. Roberson beat it. Trey Roberson spinning his way to the 47-yard line for an Illinois State Redbirds first down.
Another blitz from Dallas Nichols off the outside here from his nickelback position. He's got to make this tackle. He's got to break down, and he doesn't. And Roberson's able to get away from it. Maybe a face mask there at the end of the run that they missed as well. But Roberson shows off his athleticism with Western Illinois bringing some pressure.
Now in Western Illinois territory and out of the eye. Coppridge. Good cut. Marshawn Coppridge is free and to the 25-yard line of Western Illinois. That's 23 yards more for the All-American Marshawn Coppridge.
Just an inside zone, and look at the vision from Coppridge. He sees nobody on the outside. He knows he's got a one-on-one situation with the safety Miles Spearman. He says, okay, I'll like that situation. If I can make him miss, I can pick up a big gain, and that's what he does. And he's got himself in this offense, Illinois State offense, inside the 30-yard line.
Seeking the red zone now. 29 carries, 141 yards and a touchdown. Roberson off play action. Going to take a shot for Warham and overthrew him. At the back pylon, Warham was in coverage with Timothy Smith.
Stutter and go on the outside, double move. Both teams have tried some double moves that have had some success today. Right there, Warham, I thought he had him. Timothy Smith, again, was matched up one-on-one with Warham on the outside. But the problem is when you stare in the backfield and the double move happens, Roberson missed that one.
Now Roberson will work out of the gun with Marshawn Coppridge offset on 2nd and 10. That inside zone, the give to Coppridge. He'll wiggle his way to the 20-yard line. Again, in on that stop for Western Illinois was Miles Spearman.
Big third down coming up here for the Leathernecks, because in a 3-point game with about 6 minutes and change to go, you've got to find a way to hold these guys to 3, or at least make them kick a field goal here, a field goal attempt. Because a 2-score game would be, I think, really tough to come back from at this point. Got to hold them to 3. Big stop here.
Now we're coming inside. 6 to go on 3rd and 6. That line to make is at the 15. Roberson. Warren made the grab. Touchdown, Illinois State. Anthony Warren.
Look at Trey Roberson stand inside the pocket. Pressure coming from this Western Illinois defense. He's going to get hit, and he delivers the throw on the money. Best throw of the day from Trey Roberson. Michael Bischoff was coming on a blitz from his linebacker position, and he delivers a blow right on Roberson. Right, he knows he's going to get hit, and he throws it up there to his big-time playmaker, Anthony Warren, and he comes through for him.
Adding the PAT, Sean Slattery again. Let's take another look at it. This is shades of October 24th, the way both of these offenses have exploded. The hit from Michael Bischoff did not detour Trey Roberson. Illinois State in the touchdown throw to Anthony Warren. The NCAA FCS Football Championship is presented by Northwestern Mutual. On this just absolutely beautiful football afternoon here in Normal, Illinois. This is almost a replication of what we saw on October 24th in this venue when Illinois State exploded in the second half to beat Western Illinois. Not that this one is through by any stretch of the imagination, but the second Trey Roberson to Anthony Warren touchdown hookup has Illinois State again on top by 10. At 29-19, Michael Regite, Dustin Fox, know you're enjoying it. Second round of the FCS playoffs. Stacy Smith on the Western Illinois return from the 3. He has come loose. Late flag thrown back near the area of block in the back or hold on the Smith return. That if it were to stand would have had him over the 30-yard line, but that is more than likely going to be brought back.
Yeah, typically that's in the area where it's going to be a block in the back or a hold. And you're right. I mean, they need good field position here. This will hurt them.
Block in the back during the return, number 17, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
They got Jalen Acklin, who caught that touchdown pass moments ago for Western Illinois.
Could you be any more blatant than that? I mean, that's a textbook block in the back right there on a kickoff return. Come on.
Young Mr. Acklin,
and he's
argued his case.
He's arguing his case, but he's not going to win that one.
All right, let's see what Sean McGuire has. He's been sizzling. He's been scorching hot here in the second half, as you see. He'll stay warm as he guns that first down throw that is hauled in by wide receiver Javon Williams.
I'll tell you this much. McGuire has been so impressive here in the second half. This game's far from over. Because if they can somehow find a way to get a score here, whether it's 3 or 7,
sure,
the game's not over by any stretch of the imagination.
McGuire gonna load it up deep for Smith. He made the grab near the midfield stripe. Running free was Stacy Smith in the Illinois State secondary.
That looks like an impact player to me, Michael. What a throw and what a catch. Wide open over the middle of the field here is Stacy Smith. And remember, the injury to Sonny Esteem has Luther Kirk, a true freshman, out there playing at safety, number 11, who was burned on that play.
Inside 5 left. McGuire looking to stay warm. Borsellino made the grab as he ran that seam route again against zone coverage. Nobody home with Borsellino at the 28-yard line.
Michael, at second glance, Esteem is back in the game at safety, but he's limping around out there from the safety position.
about Sean McGuire in the Western Illinois drive? Now he'll step up. That was an ill-advised attempt of Javon Williams. McGuire got away with what would have been a disastrous mistake. He was being taken to the ground by Matt Swain.
I honestly have no idea what's going through the head of Sean McGuire right now, and neither does Coach Nielsen, because that's just not thinking right there, because there's no one even looking at the football.
McGuire trying to regroup on 2nd and 10. It was broken up. He was looking to find Lance Lenore running that dig. As you see Alex Donnelly getting up slowly. It was broken up by that dropping linebacker, Pat Meehan.
Pat Meehan would have had himself an interception here. Alex Donnelly doesn't see him coming across, and he's got that big cast on his hand. I think he just knocks off Meehan a little bit for making that clean interception. But McGuire now 2 throws here, two really dangerous throws on 1st and 2nd down, have them in a tough spot on 3rd.
This crowd coming up on the Illinois State side on 3rd and 10. McGuire overthrew Joey Borsellino. Now decision time. From here to be a 45-yard field goal attempt.
No.
But Dustin, they need points. They can get this back to 7 with a made field goal.
Well, they've already made a couple of field goals in this game. I think you have to kick this. There's no question. To me, it's a no-brainer. 4th and 10 versus a field goal with your kicker who has been on the money this afternoon. But you do have to remember the last PAT was blocked.
Nathan Knuffman, he's hit from 43 today. This will be from 45 yards from the right hash. The operation is clean. A lot of leg from Huffman, but it faded wide right. He missed it wide right.
He had the leg. Absolutely had the leg. Good snap, good hold. Ball's down, gets it up, and he just pulls it just enough. Heck, that might have been just a little bit of wind to knock that one outside, but Mikey had the leg, and I think it was the right call. You had to you had to kick it there, but now you're talking about a defense that needs to come up with a stop in a hurry because you need 2 stops.
You do, but I mean, that was absolutely the right call to make. Again, 4th and 10, and yes, you're at the range of your field goal kicker, but you have to have scores on 2 drives to get back in a football game. So Bob Nielsen, knowing that, sent his field goal team out. This is Marshawn Coppridge, and Coppridge has busted it. Coppridge outside the numbers. See you later. Touchdown, Marshawn Coppridge. No flags.
Touchdown run by number 25.
Dustin, he is just phenomenally amazing. 72 yards, taking it home.
Just a gifted, talented, special running back, and he showed the speed. You know, Coach Spack was telling us before the game how he was 100-meter champ in the state of California. One of the fastest guys to come out of the state of California 4 years ago, and has come on the scene here as a Redbird and just been dominant. It's a run like that, Michael, that puts him in position to become the FCS National Offensive Player of the Year. He's up for it. One of the top 3 candidates. They'll announce it in Frisco, Texas before the national title game. But look at the vision. He bounces it outside. He gets a terrific block right there on the edge from Brady Tibbetts, and then it sets him free, and then he just outruns the defense. And look at this. Timothy Smith has an angle, and he just can't catch up to him because that's a guy right there who heard the gun and took off like he was running for the 100 meters.
Cali 100-meter speed?
That's that Cali 100 right there. Big time run.
He's over 200 yards on the afternoon today with his 2nd touchdown for Marshawn Coppridge. Bob Nielsen told us this week we just cannot afford to allow those huge explosion chunk plays. 31 for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns, and the lead is 17 with 4:14 left.
What a terrific second half for this Illinois State offense, and it has played out exactly the way that it did October 24th. It was
Eerily similar.
Eerily similar.
Yeah.
Not as many points on the board, at least not yet, but the way that Illinois State has really just kind of turned on the Jets here in the second half offensively, they woke up. And I think Western Illinois didn't necessarily take advantage of the turnovers in the first half to the way that they got 3 points off the turnovers, and they should have had maybe 14.
As dynamic as Marshawn Coppridge is, and he's special, again, I will offer up that the Trey Roberson third down conversions 3 times on the possession when they were trailing 12-7 was the catalyst to wake up Illinois State's offense.
Extending drives is what it did, and that's what didn't happen in the first half, and that's why the Western defense was able to be so successful. That changed in a big way in the second half.
Now McGuire firing that quick slant to Lance Lenore. And again, this is a 3-possession football game now, ladies and gentlemen. Illinois State with a 3-possession lead with their 17-point advantage. McGuire will extend the play and find that throw that is caught by Isaiah LeSure. LeSure made the grab. That's a first down, Western Illinois. Well, they've got to get in the end zone quickly, very quickly.
Redbirds are more than happy to allow catches to be made inbounds in front of them.
McGuire, sack time, Illinois State coming to knock down. McGuire was Teddy Corwin on the hit.
7 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd and 17 for the Leatherback.
Teddy Corwin, another one of those guys on the edge. He's 6'5", 260, Michael, and he's athletic. And he showed it. He talked to the defensive corner, Spence Nowinski. He loves his ends.
2nd and 17. That's picked off. Intercepted as McGuire made a bad throw. Shane Glass on the Illinois State INT.
Shane Glass is going to do a good job here, sitting down in his zone. He comes across, and he's just sitting back there as a robber. And that's an easy interception. Smartly gets down. He knows that his offense, all they have to do is run a couple of plays here and get 2 first downs, and the game will most likely be over. But the Illinois State defense, when they had to bow up and make plays, they came through.
Absolutely they did. There's a look at Shane Glass, a young man from Garland, Texas. Now with just 3 minutes and 1 second left. This second battle of the Missouri Valley Conference rivals here in the state of Illinois has decidedly swung toward that man, Brock Spack, and his second-seeded Redbirds. Marshawn Coppridge going to get a respite here on this series as George Marrera gets the call. We've seen Marrera a couple times today running the football and returning kicks. It's been a terrific year for Bob Nielsen, but as his clock winds down, it's looking like the ride is going to come to an end for Western Illinois, and they'll finish this year up at 7-6 if they don't have a miraculous finish to this to come up with a win. Marrera to the 47-yard line, which is going to bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 2. We're also going to come inside. Now Bob Nielsen is going to use a timeout. So only a 30-second timeout, but he has 3 in his pocket. He's going to use one here after the 2nd down carry from Marrera.
Michael, a couple of milestones here on the afternoon for Illinois State's offense. One of which, Marshawn Coppridge, over 5,000 yards.
That's right.
In his career, went over 5,000 yards earlier in the game. Only needed 52 coming into the ball game. Boy, he set that one pretty good. And then the rushing offense. Let's talk about it because it has been dynamic. It has been fun to watch, and Coppridge has really got it going, especially in the second half. That's his first touchdown run of the day. Look at this. Gets outside in space. That's where he is very, very special. He's got some wiggle, and he's got some speed and versatility as well, and that was the last touchdown run he had. But boy, this is the fourth time all year, Michael, that this Illinois State offense has rushed for over 300 yards.
Well, look at that offensive line of Illinois State. There's why, as you just said, rushed for over 300. They gave George Marrera that late push after he was stood up, and that'll move the sticks and put this one away for the Redbirds of Illinois State. Marrera picking up the first down.
Michael, this isn't a military school that all they do is run the ball. This is a balanced offense. They come into games and they want to throw the ball, but give Coach Spack a lot of credit, because in the second half, they went to what works and what was working, and it was the running game of not only Coppridge, but it was Trey Roberson as well.
Fourth straight carry, George Marrera just running power football now out of the I formation, as we're going to come inside 90 seconds left, and Bob Nielsen is not. He's got 2 timeouts left, but it's looking like he is going to let it go.
Well, listen, if you're a Leatherneck fan out there watching the game or at the game today, nothing to hang your hat about. Obviously the players as well. A terrific year. You find yourself pretty much out of it. You know, you're down and out. Nobody thinks you have a shot. They win 3 games in a row, find themselves into the playoffs, a couple of games in overtime, a top 5 win over South Dakota State to find themselves in the playoffs. Coach Nielsen wins the Missouri Valley Coach of the Year award. What a great year, and especially for the seniors. Now, these seniors have not been to the playoffs ever. The last time they were to the playoffs was 2010, and so to have this experience, to get a victory, and with Coach Nielsen's past history winning national titles at Division II level, you got to feel like great things are ahead in Macomb.
Well, they're second seed, right?
Yeah.
And, Jacksonville State, the number 1 seed this year. North Dakota State beat them last year in Frisco in the FCS championship game. Roberson to take a knee, and that's going to be it. There will be no more snaps today. Moving on to the quarterfinals will be your number 2 seed in the FCS playoff format. Trey Roberson, Marshawn Coppridge, and the Redbirds of Illinois State. Big second half. They put 29 points on the board with 4 TDs in the second half and beat Western Illinois 36-19.
I think they had to get the rust off in the first half, Michael. They didn't play last week. They had a bye as the number 2 seed. They had an opportunity to sit at home and get healed up and healthy and all that good stuff. And now they come out here. First half, they struggled, only had 7 points on the board, and just an offensive explosion in the second half. 29 points. The offense was as fun as it's been to watch all season, and they got to be feeling really happy about where they stand now. Now remember, the Richmond Spiders are a pretty talented football team.
Yeah, they are the 7th seed.
The 7th seed.
Out of the Colonial Athletic Association.
CAA. They play good football in the CAA.
Yes, they do. Very good conference. As Trey Roberson with Gavin Ricketts exchanging the congratulations on a tremendous second half performance for Roberson, Marshawn Coppridge, and Brock Spack's football team, the 2nd seeded Redbirds of Illinois State. We're joined by head coach Brock Spack of Illinois State, Michael Reggie, Dustin Fox. Brock, you're down, you're leading by 7-6, and then that third quarter drive where Trey Roberson picked up 3 third-down conversions with his legs. Did you look at that at the time it turned and your offense got back to what you know it is?
Yeah, we did. And I kind of told you guys before the game, he's just one of those rare players that when he's in the funk, he's able to pull himself out of it and finds a way to make a play because he's a really good athlete. And, I think he'd like to have some of those passes back he threw today, but we won it with his legs and ran the ball well in the fourth quarter and able to put the game away. So.
Yeah, Coach, you're 100% right. We were referencing it during the broadcast, how you were talking about it, how he never really lets himself go in the tank, and he gets into the situation where he throws a couple of picks, he bounces back. My question would be to you is, do you think the bye week maybe he had to knock the rust off a little bit in that first half? Because the second half, boy, you guys were really fun to watch.
Yeah, as you know, Dustin, the offensive football is about timing, and that you kind of lose that when you have a bye. But at this time of year, obviously you'll take the bye with the rest. But your timing on offense, I always worry about that. It's kind of like when you play in bowl games. You know, if you're a throwing team or like to throw the football, or even your running game, the timing can be really screwed up. We did not play well in the first half. You got to give Western credit; they played very well.
Brock's back. Go celebrate with your football team. We'll look forward to seeing you next week as you move on to the quarterfinals.
Yep, survive in advance, right?
That's right.
Survive in advance.
All right, bye-bye.
Good luck, Coach.
Spoken like a head coach that's been there a time or two. Brock's back, and his Redbirds of Illinois State, they're going to have a fun Saturday night here on the campus in Normal. They beat Western Illinois 36-19. Don't go away. We'll come right back. Illinois State moves on to the quarterfinals of the FCS playoff format by virtue of their 36-19 win over their Missouri Valley Conference rivals, the Leathernecks of Western Illinois. Dustin Fox all about big play explosion in the second half. Brock's Pack's football team put it on display.
Once they knocked that rust off in that first quarter, really, I mean, that's Conference getting in the end zone, but it was Roberson. Let's give him a lot of credit. The senior quarterback knew that he was struggling to throw the football, had a couple of interceptions, but then he took it upon himself, Michael, to put it on his back, and that's what he did, absolutely. Had a couple of big runs. Here's a 21-yard touchdown run. It really kind of allowed them to separate in the second half.
Terrific throw here, being hit on the blitz to Anthony Warren, one of the two TD hookups there, and then the dynamic one of Marshawn Coppridge.
And he hit the turbo button, didn't he, on the end of this run? Boy, he outbursted the Western Illinois Leatherneck defense, especially in the secondary. Timothy Smith trying to track him down with an angle there, just unable to make the tackle, and they survive and advance, as Coach Pack
That's
said.
right. Let's look at our bracket. It'll show you down there at the bottom. Oh, what lies in wait? The Spiders of Richmond from the Colonial.
I don't like
Athletic.
spiders. Spiders scare me. Arachnophobia.
Hey, we may be right back here next week. We'll see.
I'll have to get rid of that phobia.
Richmond beats William and Mary. 2-seed Illinois State beats Western Illinois. Should be fun next week. To watch this entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. For our producer, David Ashbrook, director Sam Ramos, all of our terrific crew, for Dustin Fox, I'm Michael Regai. So long from Normal, Illinois. Illinois State moves on. They beat Western Illinois 36-19.